get to say, yeah, 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 yeah. Say you will. Come on now.
I'm not ready to sing.
A little bit softer now. A little bit softer now.
I can do that part. What's up, everybody? Welcome to Lights, Camera,
Hey,
Cocktails.
cocktails.
Happy quarantine. I hope you guys are staying safe out there. It is still wedding month, and I overdressed.
Yep.
God damn it.
I am on this. I don't care what I look like. Like, you guys are lucky I even beat this face because I've been running around in pajamas.
Did you get a haircut?
No, but I redid my hair.
I was going to
need
say
a
it's
haircut.
different from than it was a few days ago. And
Yeah,
that
you know.
by that, I mean 2 days ago. As
Oh,
in,
you mean
happy
yesterday.
belated birthday, Zenobia.
Oh, happy birthday.
Thank you. Kind of sucks having a quarantine birthday, but
Your cake was
I'm
good.
here. Oh, the cake that Smashley made for me that you ate in front of me on Zoom yesterday. Yeah.
Yes,
It
yes,
looked
we did.
good.
It was actually very good. It was actually
I have a
delicious.
theory. I have a theory though about the birthday. Can we just if this keeps going, can we just say that no birthdays happen this year and everybody stays a year younger and it happens
I am
the next
so
year?
up for that. I don't want to.
Oh, I already said it because I couldn't go party and drink. I didn't count it.
Exactly.
So there.
They should change our driver's licenses and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Massive birthday party
Fair.
after this is over
For
for everybody who had a birthday in between quarantine.
Hold in there, Aries. I know it's tough,
Or
but we're gonna make it through this.
you know how they did it in the Depression was because they didn't have money to get their own birthday cake for everybody. The whole neighborhood pitched in once a month, and any kid whose birthday it was during that month, they all sang happy birthday at the same time, and they had
That's
a
cool.
sheet cake that everybody got a little piece of.
I like that.
That's cool.
I
Yeah.
like that.
So
Okay.
Depression times, quarantine times,
We're banging pots and cans and screaming out here at 8:00 every night for all the medical workers.
Really?
Oh, cool.
Yeah, they just did it.
Do you want to
Yeah,
introduce
the
our
grocery
guest,
store
Jason?
workers.
Yeah, actually, everybody.
No, you don't have
You know we have no structure on this, or at least I don't. You got a plan.
I'm like
I
that. I'm like that odd guy at the party. It's like you walk up to your friend and he's just standing there, just waiting, just waiting.
Oh, that's usually me.
Yeah.
That's
the
not me.
worst
I'm like,
feeling.
hi, I'm Zenobia.
No.
Where's
Yeah.
the bar?
So everybody, this is our friend Robin. He is a fantastic director, filmmaker. I want to say musician, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes. I sing in a rock band.
Yeah, I was like,
That is
I haven't.
currently not doing anything.
Yeah.
What's your band called?
It's called Rival Tides. I should have a CD around here.
That's what it was. Actually, where's my phone? I have it on my phone.
Okay.
Yeah,
It's not near me.
We're kind of a big deal. We're kind of a medium to small deal.
I'm gonna tell you a story that would surprise you actually, and it is the story of how I met Robin.
Wait.
So check this out. So you know how me and Ashley went to go to the desert trip a few years ago?
Yeah.
We met Robin and Jen in line waiting to get some beers the first night of the concert. So Bob Dylan was playing and he had all the lights turned off. It was basically everybody listening to Bob Dylan on the speakers because we were not happy about Bob Dylan. He was being very antisocial. But we're standing in line with Robin and Jen and we're sparking up a conversation. We find out that we live 10 minutes from each other. And sadly, Robin threw that same Step Brothers quote at me, and I completely missed it that night. He's like, did we just become best friends? I was like, what the hell is he talking about?
Yeah, he hasn't watched Step Brothers. So that's
I
what
have
happened.
seen Step Brothers, but it hadn't been a long time. But it'll surprise you to know that I haven't seen him since that day. It's been a good 3 or 4 years. We've been meaning to hang out. We've been meaning to get together and this, that, and the other.
Well,
It just doesn't happen.
Yeah, that is true.
So count.
Yeah. But we've stayed connected, and I was supposed to see you last month when you had your premiere for your movie.
Yeah.
And coronavirus just completely wiped you out, dude. And I feel
Corona.
so I've seen your trailer. I'm gonna send it to you, Zenobia.
Okay.
But he just finished his first feature, and it's a hell. What are we doing here?
I'm getting coronavirus, dude. I can't put it over my thing.
Coronavirus.
So Robin has finished his first feature film, his directorial debut for a full-length feature, and it's called Party With Me or Party With Us?
Party With Me.
Party With Me.
I love partying.
You will love this. I got to send you the trailer because it's a dramedy. It is a great story. It's got great characters. It's got great acting. It's got that 80s music feel that I absolutely love.
Love it.
And he was supposed to have his premiere, and this is right before coronavirus, our stay-at-home order set in.
Yeah, March 21st was supposed to be the premiere.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry.
So what's going on with the movie now? Like, are you going to reschedule the premiere?
Well, it still was accomplished.
It was accomplished.
It still exists. But yeah, I don't know. They postponed it to May 30th, but I don't think I don't think that's gonna happen. Even if things kind of like changed, I don't think people will be. I don't feel comfortable being like, everybody pack a theater to see my movie. So I have a feeling.
We'll be there,
dude. I'll be there.
Yeah, we'll be there.
I mean, I hope so, but I at this point, I think it's going to get postponed again. I'm thinking.
I think it's going to get postponed again
fall.
Because
I just. It's going to be the date that I'm hoping that they reschedule it. I don't know, but I will say this: I made this film with my own money.
Mm-hmm.
I wrote it myself, casted my friends, made the movie on my own. It's not my Citizen Kane. I just wanted to prove to myself that I could make a film and that I could have friends that were down and they were down and we made a movie. And so I'm proud. I'm proud of everyone that was involved with this film, everybody that put their time into it. Mm-hmm. So at the end of the day, if I could just show it to people, I will be happy. The whole goal with this film was not to get it sold. If it gets distributed, cool. I can make it extra. I could make my money back. That'd be amazing. If I can make my money back, I made more money because I already let that money go.
Sure.
But my goal is somebody gives me a shot as a director. Somebody gives me a shot as a writer.
Someone sees it.
Somebody gives my cast a shot as actors because they're fucking so good. They're so good in this film. And then when I sent this people that I've sent it to, that's the thing that they've given back to me. So it's like, of course I send the film, they go, oh man, good job. But the one thing they say is the acting, the actors, phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when I know I did my job as a director. I did my job. I cast them in the right role. I let them do their thing, and they brought what they brought to it. And I hope the one thing that comes out of this is that the leads like Allison and Michael and all, they get everything they deserve because they're fucking so talented, man. Talented people.
I think they will. I think you're going to be pleasantly surprised with what happens to this movie. And I've only seen the trailer, but I'm a very good judge from a trailer whether a story has legs, whether the acting is going to be up to par. And yes, that lead actress, she's very good. I feel for her immediately, and I also want to hang out with her.
Yeah,
she has many facets to her character. Same thing for that the blonde guy with the beard, the bigger guy. Like I fell in love with him immediately. It was like, oh, this guy is fucking awesome.
You know what's funny? When I made the film, I thought it was one thing, and then I had all these other things to it. And I was trying to think what encapsulates the film. Mm-hmm. And I said this line, and people immediately are like, I want to see that movie. And it's a coming of age story for 30-somethings.
Nice.
I like it.
That's actually really good.
That's it. Mm-hmm. And it's like when you're in your 30s, it happens to be the main character. Her father passes away, and it deals with grief. But I mean, I'm about to turn 40. Like in my 20s, I dealt with grief. Like that's why I wrote this film. It's like in your 30s, you've dealt with grief at some point, whether your friend or with your mom or your father or your grandfather. Like everyone grieves in a certain way, and they distract themselves or whatever it is. But it's just it's kind of a glimpse inside of someone's grieving process for a couple of days. It's not the most groundbreaking film in the world, but it's a glimpse of like what we all go through. Like the opening of the film, it just says, you know, grief. I think the line I put was grief sucks, and then the description is like because it's supposed to be like a philosophy. Grief sucks in quotations, and it says everyone ever. Because it sucks.
It does.
It's the worst, and it's just a little glimpse on someone's life dealing with grief, with their father dying of cancer, and their relationship with their father, and dealing with people in LA, and trying to live their own life. And it's just, you know, there's no perfect ending. It's just a glimpse. That's all.
Okay, so tell everybody what the name is one more time and where we can find it.
Yeah. Do you have like distribution of it yet? Like,
no, I don't. I mean, it was supposed to premiere at that festival on March 21st.
So we got to wait until after the premiere, and then you'll release it.
I'll send you guys. I'll send you the link. I don't give a fuck.
No. I'm gonna wait for the premiere.
Yeah, I want to see it, but
I'm gonna wait for the premiere.
You don't need to see it, but you don't need to see it in the theater. I mean, I'm hoping that. Listen, if I sent you the link, I just want you to watch to see if you like it. I would hope that you still fucking showed up to the movie.
Yeah, let's still come to that.
Like,
okay. So let's do this. Yeah, send me the link.
We were talking about this earlier. That's the worst part is like when you send somebody a movie, you're like, here's my movie. And they go, I don't need to show up to your big day. It's like, no, I'll send you the movie. Just show it to my big day as well.
Yeah.
Like,
we'll show up to the big day. But send me the movie because I want to see it.
Yeah.
All right, I'll send it to you.
That's even better because I want to see your writing and your filmmaking chops. I want to see what you do as a director personally.
But I want to see your movie, man. I want to see. I'm like excited about. Let me tell you something. I'm very fucking excited about what you're doing.
We got to hang out as soon as this Corona thing is over. We got to hang out.
Okay, so I think that is super cool, and I would like to know more about you. But there's something sitting next to me that I'm tired of ignoring. So.
Oh yeah. Let's get that going so that we can talk more about Robin.
Okay, so Robin, hold on. And get ready because we are about to drink a strawberry daiquiri.
Yeah, daiquiris.
Daiquiris.
I've been waiting for this drink.
So do I have my wackery or?
Yes. Oh. So Robin has a wackery because he's on that keto diet. He's being responsible.
It's a keto daiquiri. It's a wackery.
It's a wackery. So he's making his own cocktail. So, but me and Jason, we drinking strawberry daiquiris.
I Googled mine. I hope it's the same as yours. What did you do with yours?
Okay, so you're going to need four cups of strawberries. I put them in there. They're frozen.
Mm-hmm.
Throw them in there. You're going to throw some lemon juice and some lime juice and some simple syrup.
You went simple syrup? Okay.
Yeah, I didn't really feel like you can put the regular just white sugar in there if you'd like. Mm-hmm. But I went with my sugar syrup kind of way. And then you're going to put some ice in there and some rum. You're going to blend it up in a blender. And then it's going to be delicious. You're going to top it with a lime. Yeah, like such.
Oh, I did the exact same thing. Perfect. All right. So I kind of followed what your recipe was, minus the simple syrup. And I didn't have... Oh, and also added White Claw. Because the recipe I Googled said to add like some tonic water or seltzer water or something like that. I was like, shit, I don't want to go out just for that. And I looked in the back. I was like, oh, somebody left White Claw back here, and it's lime flavored. Perfect.
It wasn't me. I did not White Claw.
I know, it's been sitting. It's back there with the Blue Moons. But actually, it turned out pretty good. So White Claw makes a nice mixer.
All right, well, let's do it.
I was going to say, you're blown out. Oh, nice. Dude, did you just draw that right now?
Yeah, I'm trying to attack with you guys.
Holy shit, that was fast.
Let me see it again. Say something.
You should be doing my storyboards. That was fast.
That's an umbrella.
That's nice.
Umbrella. I like it.
I should have been a Samuel Fender though, but.
All right, well, cheers, guys.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Oh, that's good. Cheers, babe.
Cheers.
That's actually really good. And I got to back up one in the freezer. I'm going to go through both of them tonight. I know it. So, everybody, we are still in wedding month, which is why I'm dressed up like this. But before we dive into our movie, as well as some herstory on Robin, we got to do Zenobia's herstory.
Are you guys ready for a little bit of herstory?
Yeah, I'm going to sit here and eat your birthday cake while you tell me.
I fucking hate you. Smashly said she was going to make me one when she saw me, so that's fine. I can wait.
Okay.
But I did. You will have to wait for your limoncello that I'm making then.
Oh, my God. Robin, remind me when you come visit and we see each other in 3 dimension to make you a good fella.
Oh yeah.
Goodfella. What's
A
in that?
Goodfella.
Ray Liotta?
Pretty much.
Kinda.
Yeah. It was made
was
by
Scotch.
Paul Sorvino, who played Paulie in Goodfellas. He invented it.
Yeah.
One of the ingredients is Chantix.
It had Scotch, whiskey, and bourbon, I think it was, plus the limoncello. It was
Mhm.
good.
Really,
sounds
really good.
Sounds
And I
good.
made homemade limoncello, so that's like my new thing right now.
You had me
my
on
mom-
whiskey. Had me on
My-
whiskey.
My mom told me that she knows how to make Grand Marnier, so that's going to be my new thing that I'm going to try to make.
Ooh.
I've seen
Yeah.
that movie.
We've used that a few times on some drinks that I really liked.
Yeah, so if the bottle is still down there, keep it, because I'm going to fill it with homemade Grand Marnier.
I got you. All right. I won't throw away any more bottles till you get back.
Perfect. Okay, so
What are we
Here's a
learning
little bit-
about?
learning about daiquiris, of course.
Okay.
I feel like we've learned all we can learn about rum. I'm really running off the rum, so
I had
So
to put
we've-
Malibu in mine because we used rum so often on the podcast that all that was left was Malibu.
oh, I bet it does taste good though.
It's good though. Yeah.
Yeah,
Did you learn all the history of the different rums and all that? You guys
Mhm.
already it's cool, huh?
Yeah.
I do history on the different rums. The beginning of rum, the
Yeah.
relationship with rum and sailors,
Yes.
the health story of rum, all the healthy things from it. You know, we talk about the African slaves who made it, Jamaican slaves created the wonderful gift that we have as rum. So yeah, I'm running out of. We just did rum and coke. We found out that it's called a Cuba Libre because rum is
Yeah.
number one.
Have you guys
So
had cachaça yet?
The what?
Have you had cachaça yet?
No,
No.
Yeah, it's a sugarcane rum. Cachaça?
Ooh, yeah.
I heard of it, but I haven't had it before.
It's bomb.
Okay, I'm a rum person.
Is that a
so I'm all
Caribbean
about-
style rum?
It's a
Sugarcane.
sugarcane rum. It's like usually it's what's the drink that they make in I think it's South America. It's caipirinha.
Okay.
It's kind of like a mojito. It's like their rum version of mojito, but with like a cachaça. But it's delicious. The only
sounds good.
brand I know in the United States is I think it's called LeBlanc. If you get at the store, it's a long green, thin bottle.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Down.
I have
Try it.
seen
It's
that.
really good.
I will, because we have had mojitos as well on here.
Mhm.
Done them all. All right,
That's
so
mine.
today we're talking about daiquiris. So daiquiri is not only a name of this tasty drink that we're drinking today, but it's also the name of a beach and an iron mill in Cuba.
Really?
And those people out there made it into, you know, everybody was still doing, you know, rum. Rum is huge in Cuba. It's their national spirit.
Mm-hmm.
And they were having a lot of limes and lemons around and strawberries and fruits, and they would make, you know, daiquiris with using sugar and, you know, crushed ice. So this was the beginning of that. And in 1902, daiquiris moved on its way over to America due of some white guy who claims to invented it. Didn't write down his name because he's not the inventor. Some Cuban is, I know it.
All right.
So in 1902, he brought it to New York City, and it kind of like blew up a little bit from there. But it was served in a tall glass, like a Collins glass type,
Oh.
with crushed ice and some sugar, and you would have to like mix it in the glass and do this whole like thing. And that was like the original way with the lemon juice and the
Wait.
lime juice in there.
Does that mean that I got it wrong? Because I thought this was a daiquiri glass.
Hold on.
Okay.
Wait a minute.
We're getting
Let me
there.
finish. So that was one of the original recipes to it. So by the 40s, the Navy guys blew it up and took it all over the country,
Nice.
all over the world. And so they would do it mainly because we've actually talked about this in our girls trip episode where we did the hurricane
Oh, yeah.
because rum was so available to everybody at all times that if you went to go buy, you know, a barrel of whiskey, you would have to go buy 2 barrels of rum because they had too much rum. So this was another way of people to use that rum because it was so cheap, I guess,
Mm.
to get rid of it, especially on hot days. And you know, sailors and Navy men and their rum,
Fuck yeah.
they don't play.
Their daily
they'll get
allowance
starbies.
of rum.
Their daily allowance of
Scurvy.
rum.
Down
Dude,
when I get the scurvy.
They used to get paid in rum. That was part of their daily wages.
Yep. They would get like a pint of rum or something like that, like a day.
Shit.
That's a lot. It's something
Uh-huh.
like that because they'd have to mix it with some stuff, and that went all the way up until the 70s. So at least in Britain,
Mm,
they don't play about their rum.
I got
So
you.
by the 50s, blenders started to become readily available to bars and homes, and so that's where we get more of our version of the daiquiri from because we used a blender. And so this became big, especially because of the 1950 boom of tiki bars that kind of took over America at that time, and the daiquiri blew up even more there. So this is a long history of a drink that I'm sure a lot of our listeners has had before, the daiquiri.
I love it. And anything with some fruit and an umbrella, that's my kind of drink.
Yeah.
I know. So that's a little bit of history on daiquiris. Yeah, get it, Robin, get it.
So, all right, everybody. So we're still in wedding month, and was this my pick or yours?
Yours.
This one's mine. We are doing Wedding Crashers today, people. And also, one of the reasons why I wanted to bring you on, Robin, is because you are a newlywed, technically.
Yes, I am. I thought that you were about to say that technically the reason we brought you on, Robin, is because I heard that you crash weddings and try to sleep with bridesmaids. No, I did not do that.
No.
Yes, I was married. Yes, October 20th, 2018.
Nice, man.
Yeah,
How's newlywed life? And any
it's
pointers for me?
interesting. It's interesting, man. That's the best way I could put it. It got its highs, it has its lows, but yeah, it's weird. It's like almost like moving into a new apartment. It's like it's exciting, but at the same time, you kind of need to make it a home. So it's a little bit of a learning curve. There's a lot of things we've been learning about ourselves and stuff. So it's been interesting, but I'm very excited about what the future holds. So
That's
it's good. Yeah.
And
That's the
I've
best way to
met,
describe it. I don't want to sugarcoat it. Okay, it's not all flowers and butterflies.
is there
I wouldn't know.
is there things that actually do change after you get married? Because you and Jen have been together for a number of years before you got married, right?
Yeah, 7. Yeah, 7 years.
7 years.
All together. Yeah, 7 years.
Dang, you guys were already married.
Pretty much. I mean, we wanted to actually just elope. That's our original idea. But then once you get like the parents involved, and they're like,
Yeah.
"We want to have a big wedding and cake."
Why you don't tell them? You just
Shotgun
go.
wedding. Hey.
Well, we tried to ask. We're like, "Is there any way that we could just like the money that you wanted to spend on the wedding, we could just like get a house with it? Like that was
Uh-huh.
our future." And they didn't want that. So, but it was a absolutely amazing wedding. Honestly, like I was watching.
I saw the pictures. They were absolutely gorgeous, dude.
I couldn't have asked for a better wedding. It was amazing. It was in the mountains. All of our great friends. It wasn't too big. It was like perfect size. Food was good. Music was good. Everybody's dancing, having a good time. Everybody left home with like a bottle. We had too much alcohol, so everybody leave with a whole bottle of whiskey or vodka or whatever.
That's a wedding I'm trying to go to. Where I walk away with a bottle.
I've never been to a wedding where I walked away with a full bottle. Like they just handed me, there you go, take it home. So it was pretty cool.
I did
have,
that once,
but it was champagne.
but I was part of the bridal
Yeah.
party, so didn't count as much.
Yeah, it was.
But
a
I
good
did
time.
walk away with a bottle of Cavassier once. That was
Okay,
nice.
so before we start with the stats,
Mm.
I just want to ask you guys a question.
Mm.
Have you ever crashed a wedding before?
No. Robin.
I have,
I have too.
but
Have
it
you
wasn't. It
Twice.
wasn't planned though.
They're never planned
Is there-
unless you're these type of dudes.
I want to hear your story.
Okay. One time it was at mine and Jason's brother and sister's wedding, and there was a wedding that was across from where we were, and it was just a wedding. Our brother and sister wedding had a cash bar. So once I spent all the money that I was going to spend on alcohol, we realized that the other bar at the other wedding was an open bar. So we were just like, well, let's just like go over there and like get a drink. And so we hijacked one of my brother's friends who was a white gentleman we took him with us to go into the wedding because it was a white wedding. So we thought, like, hey, we have this guy, maybe it won't look as bad, or they'll just kick us out and he can just get us drinks. Either way, so we get
where's
there.
this, Kentucky or something?
I don't
This
know.
was in Riverside.
It's all here.
Wait a minute.
So-
I heard about this shit. I didn't go, but I heard you and a few other people went. So who was with you in this trip?
From what I can remember, it was me and my cousin Sandy, one of Rashad's friends, a couple of Rashad's friends. We kind of like just went over there like stealth. I think Monique might have been there. I can't remember. But we got the drinks, and then we just saw them on the dance floor just like partying. And so we were like, well, let's just go out there. And so we go out there and we start dancing. We're dancing with the bride and groom, and they're so drunk, but they're like super happy to just see like cool black people on the dance floor with them. So they're just like, oh yeah, and like we danced and sweated out with the bride and groom. I also did that one time in San Francisco. We were walking past, me and my friend were walking past a church that was having a wedding, and they had a tent in the back. And so we kind of walked to the back, and we were dressed like, nice-ish. That we did kind of walk up to the bar and get some drinks. We hung out for a little bit. We didn't dance with the bride and groom on that one. But the first one, I was out there doing the electric slide like I was part of the family.
I
Nice.
love it.
What about you, Robin?
It's actually very similar to your first story. Like I was in Vegas with like a couple of friends, and we were just walking. Like those were the conference rooms and all the stuff that they have, like the big meetings and obviously the weddings and everything. We somehow got in there, and we just randomly walked into this room. We heard the music and the DJ was going, and nobody was paying attention. And we were like, "We get some free drinks." So we go in, and we start cut. It was like a lot of like older people that were down on the dance floor. And we didn't care. We were drunk. So we're just like, we're just going to dance. So I'm like dancing with like grandmas and just like, what's up, man? Like just dancing. And then next thing you know, it's like, we're the hit of the party. Everybody's like stoked we're there. They don't care that we're not in the wedding. They were like taking shots with them. And I think even one of my friends even like met a girl there. And,
Yeah.
yeah, it was just a drunken Vegas night, but we ended up stumbling on a wedding.
Vegas makes
everybody's
sense.
so happy. Yeah, everybody's just so happy they didn't care.
So technically that works then. You can draw attention to yourself, but on your own terms.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you got to
totally.
be you don't want to be the person who's there and then you're like fighting with a groomsman. That's not the right attention you want. You want the little, dancing with the flower girl so the girls look at you and you look unthreatening, And
You want to do
weddings,
it Nola style.
yeah.
No,
and
I
when
didn't-
you're-
Nola style.
I remember what rule that was that they mentioned. It's like, do not draw attention to yourself in a negative
in a negative way.
way.
Because when you do, like he does at the end, where he's just like all fucked up, he's like
Oh yeah, that's
kissing
bad.
the bride, and
Kissing the
stuff.
bride.
Yeah, you're bringing bad attention. Where I'm gonna whoop your ass.
And I'm not talking shit on love because I don't think friendship lasts either.
That scene where he does that, the actor that's the groom, I know that guy. I was in a film with him. Like when I was
Yeah.
acting, I was in a movie with that guy. That was like his big claim to fame, was that one scene in The Wedding Crash.
Nice.
So funny you brought up that one scene.
Wait, so you were acting before you stepped into directing?
Yeah, I mean that's what I kind of originally came out here to do. I
Okay.
still love acting. I still do it, but I kind of just gave up on the cattle call, sitting. You're doing it. You're
I
making
can't do it, man.
Yeah, it just
I
like
dropped my representation this last winter, and I just, other than if somebody calls me and asks me to do a self-tape, I just don't do it anymore.
Yeah.
I can't just keep chasing after all this BS.
It sucks the fun out of it, honestly. Like I love acting for the fun of it and the art of it.
Yeah.
But like sitting in a room with like 20 other blonde dudes and I'm reading a script that's terrible, and I'm like, why am I want to write the script.
Yeah, and it's
Yeah.
never something that you're actually you feel passionate about. It's very
Yeah.
bland. You don't get the full story. You have like, it's an under 5, so you say some lines and you may say them right, you may not say them right because you don't know what happened before and you don't know what's happening afterwards.
Exactly, yeah.
Such a pain in the ass. And
Well,
that's
if
why
you-
we write.
And that's why we do this podcast. We get drunk, speak our mind, and talk about something that we love,
Mhm.
film.
Exactly.
and
And I get to
booze.
perform a scene every week.
Every week we get to be on. So you ready for me to hit you with the stats?
Yes, hit me with them stats.
All
Hold
right,
on.
Stats.
All right, I'm ready. Got to get some frosting, in the front and on the other end. That's
You're
it.
still eating the cake?
I'm about to turn your camera off so I don't have to look at you no more. I do that. Okay, so here's the stat.
Vince Vaughn eats cake through this entire movie. I'm eating cake.
He eats a lot of things through this entire fucking movie.
I was just saying, man, you're like a squirrel, man. You're just like, you think something's gone, and then you're just like, you take it out, and you're just like eating this like lunch you had yesterday. Like,
I know exactly where the frames are.
Yeah,
So we got a
it's like-
50 on this side. We got an 85 on you guys. So everything that's happening below the laptop is fair game. Nobody knows what's happening.
you got like oven mitts. You're gonna pull out like a whole lasagna and just
Okay,
you're filming on stove.
let me hit you guys with the stats for this movie.
Give me them stats.
Wedding Crashers came out July 15th, 2005. So I do remember going to the movies to go see this. I don't know about you guys,
I did.
but I did go see this. And the budget for this movie was $40 million. So if you translate that into 2020 money, that's roughly $54 million to make this movie. Okay.
That's a decent budget.
Yeah, especially for, I guess, the bigger name dudes. I don't know if Vince Vaughn and Owen Wilson were as big as they are now.
They weren't as big, but Vince Vaughn was just coming off of Dodgeball.
That's true. And
Owen
that was a
Wilson
huge hit.
had just done Shanghai Noon
That was
with
big.
this director. And so that was his in with this movie, I'm sure.
So they paid them pretty good, probably like 10 mil a piece, I would think.
I would guesstimate closer to 5. Especially because they got, Christopher Walken in here.
Oh, true.
They got to give him a chunk.
True.
Ow.
Wait, do you do a good impression? Because I can't. I want to so bad.
Good for you. Good for you.
Like, I have so many lines of Christopher Walken that I could say, not just from this movie, but just from.
Yeah,
I
other
can't wait.
movies.
I can't wait to talk about Mr. Walken.
Like what was that movie he was in? Oh, Joe Dirt. It's like
Yes.
one of my favorite lines from Walken is from Joe Dirt. He just goes, "Oh no, I saw the wrong tongue. Next time, I'm stab you in the face with a soldering iron."
Let me ask you something. Did your mother sew?
Boom.
Get her to
Get him
sew
to
that.
I know. I always think of him in Catch Me If You Can, where he's talking about the mouse. 2 mice fall in about milk. And
Dude,
one of them just drowns.
He's got
The
so
other
many.
That one's
Or
so
is-
good. It's like, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, the end is like, ladies and gentlemen, I am that second mouse.
Stop it. I
All
love
right.
you right
All
now.
right, we're going to get to him. But I'm sure that he took a healthy portion of this budget.
Oh,
That's true.
You
Yeah. So,
you think that he would have got, like, if you say that, let's say that Vince Vaughn and they made $10 million each. You think even with his smaller role, because he's how big he is, got the same?
yeah, I don't
Yeah.
think that Vince Vaughn or Owen Wilson made more than Christopher Walken, at least not knowingly. But then again, I don't know, because Walken likes projects. He'll
He
do
does.
an indie if it's a good project. Like,
And he
one of my
likes to be
favorite
the
performances of
small
his
roles.
is a little known movie called Pool Hall Junkies.
Oh, yeah,
And
that's a great movie.
I absolutely love that movie, and I love his performance in that movie. But that
You
movie
can't go
was
wrong with
like
Christopher Walken.
crazy low budget. So it all depends on the project. Maybe he's like, you know what? Yeah, but if Vince Vaughn and Owen Wilson are getting this much, I'm getting that much.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I wonder if it's like just an underlying, like it's a known thing in Hollywood. It's like, hey, this is like not an A-lister. This is like a historically A-lister. He can't make less than even the star of the movie.
Sure.
Like if
Yeah.
Denzel came on and did a starring role, just in one scene, probably got the same amount as like the lead. I would think.
I feel
Sure.
that.
Unless
Because
it's a
there's
favor. Sometimes stars will do favors for people that they know.
Okay, let's finish these stats.
All right,
So,
finish these stats.
It made worldwide, this movie, $288 million. So if you translate that into 2020 money, that's roughly $388 million.
Fuck.
Moolah. You ain't got enough dollars for
Dude.
How many times how many?
That's
This
Jay-Z's house.
times 287 million.
No.
Damn, dude.
It's so much.
So, that is that on that. So it made a lot of fucking money. Rotten Tomatoes. You ready for Rotten Tomatoes, Jason?
You know what? I'm not scared of Rotten Tomatoes on this particular movie. So yeah, let's go.
I just want to be real. This month, our movies have been kicking it in Rotten Tomatoes. This is like a rare thing for us. So Wedding Crashers, the critics, they gave it 75%, which is really good for critics.
Decent for critics. Dude, we've done movies where the critics gave it 14%. 24%. And we're talking about good movies.
Baloney.
Yeah.
Baloney.
They're just hateful.
Yeah.
This is why we only share the Rotten Tomatoes. We don't believe in Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah. Well, you guys do the middle rule, right?
What's the middle rule?
That's my wife right there.
Hi,
Hi,
Jen. Yeah.
I was trying to throw it on his head.
Hi, White.
Say hi.
Jen, this is my sister-in-law, Zenobia.
She can't hear
and
me.
Jason.
Hi.
Ashley's hiding on the other side of the wall. Nothing. Jen can hear to say hi.
Right.
No, what you do is you take the.
You are a little bitch, though.
That comes from his wife. Everybody.
That was our wedding vows.
Don't worry about it. Your suit was on point. You're good.
There you go. You take the Rotten Tomato score and the audience score, and it's somewhere between. That's how I rate it.
Okay.
Okay.
Because the audience score, they're a lot smarter than people think, but they also like really bad movies. So you kind of have to imagine that it's higher than it probably should be. And then with the Rotten Tomato score, it's probably lower than it should be if it's the type of genre of film you like. Like horrors and comedies, they're always kind of mean to those genres, you know?
Yeah.
But
Yeah, they
if
definitely
drama,
are.
I would, for a drama, like a good drama, I'd probably take the Rotten Tomato score more.
Okay.
Seriously.
Well, let me give you what the audience said. Okay?
What did the audience say?
So the audience gave it 70%.
What the
So
fuck?
They're lower than the critic.
You got to be shitting me.
Yeah.
Dude,
Yeah.
I saw this movie
crazy.
in the theaters. I had no idea who Will Ferrell was. This was my introduction to Will Ferrell. I was in the theater. Yeah, I'd never seen Saturday Night Live during that time. I don't even think I had a TV at that time.
The cheerleaders. Oh,
I didn't see,
Okay.
I had no idea what cowbell meant. Nothing back then. And so
More cowbell.
I'm in the theater and everything is quiet, and all of a sudden Will Ferrell comes out from the shadows and the entire theater just erupts in applause, and I'm like, who the fuck is this guy?
Because
Very
you
quickly,
don't know
I
who
learned.
you're expecting. You don't know who you're expecting. But like you said, you didn't know who he was. So
I had
you're
no
all
idea.
Like, who is this
Were
dude?
you like that? Were you like that? You're like, you're watching it, you're just like,
Yeah.
This guy.
I was more startled than anything. I saw him come out of the shadow, which was really cool how they actually
love
did
it.
that.
Mhm.
Because that was
The
a
nunchucks.
hard shadow. Yeah, he's got the nunchucks and the robe and everything.
The rope.
Pick up your fucking
Oh.
skateboard.
I don't know what she's doing back there. I never know what she's doing back there.
I don't know what she's doing back there. Meatloaf.
But like out of nowhere, the entire theater erupts in applause. I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
You're like,
That's
who's
funny.
here?
Was it
I knew it was for him, but like I never saw him before.
was it after Anchorman or before?
It may have
I think
I think it
Anchorman was
was-
before this.
before this, but I hadn't
Yeah.
seen it yet.
Because I remember that's why. Because Anchorman was such a huge like comedic hit. I remember I saw that in the theater and I thought it was.
I
Gonna,
did too.
I love Will Ferrell, but I was like, it's probably not gonna be that good. And I left the theater going, that was hilarious. Like I
Mhm.
remember all the jokes. It became like a cult hit. I had to tell all my friends, you need to watch this movie. They're like, no,
Yeah.
watch this. And it became such a big hit. I think that
Yeah,
probably
it's
was
like
tailing off of that.
every group of friends had like this understanding. As soon as you start quoting Anchorman, everybody got it.
Yeah.
I can't wait till we do it because we're gonna drink scotch. Scotchy scotch down in my belly. That like a scotch and milk.
I'll make us some
Cocktail.
ribs that night.
Okay.
Or Old School. Did you guys watch Old School yet?
That was our
Fire.
third movie.
Nice.
We-
That was good. That
we
was
did
a lot of
beer
fun.
bong,
Ashley
we did
did a
beer
beer
bong
bong for
out
the
of-
first time on that episode.
and we drank PBR and we learned about
We-
PBR. It was a
we
good.
did.
It was a good.
Do you
week.
know Todd Phillips
Uh huh.
is a cameo in like I think pretty much all of his movies.
All of them. Yep.
Yeah.
We talked
He's the
about
guy,
that.
He's the guy that shows up for the gang thing.
Yeah, he's the gangbang guy. He's the guy that smells Amy
here for the
Smart's
gangbang.
feet in Road Trip.
Yeah.
He's the guy
In the
going up the
elevator.
elevator
In the elevator in Hangover? Yep.
I don't think he
We totally
would.
talked about it.
That's how much of like a directing nerd I was though, because I was like following all these directors, and I'd be like in the theater and I'd be like, "That's Todd Phillips," and they're like, "I don't care." And I'm like, "But I care."
But I,
See, you're meant to be
Ro-
on this show.
Robin, I would care.
I would care.
I would care.
Are you guys the first, like, as soon as you watch a movie or you see a new actor or anything, I immediately go to IMDb.
If he's
to
good.
know- yeah, right?
Yeah.
Or the director or the writer or
Mm-hmm.
Somebody.
yeah. Or
Yes.
you just,
Only if I'm watching it at home, I will like stop a movie to like look up.
yeah.
Yeah, I would
Something.
do that. Like, I immediately did that kind of stuff for like Damien Chazelle as soon as I saw Whiplash.
Yeah. Whiplash
Um,
was great. That's a
I would
great
do
film.
that if I see somebody that is in my casting, because I'm like, all right, who's this fucker I have to compete with later?
Mhm.
Yeah.
You know, or if
But
it's somebody that
is
I
that-
can see myself working opposite of, I want to see their track record and how
Is that
much they're going
intimidating
to
to
cost
you,
me.
or do you feed off that energy and you're like, I can't wait to beat this one.
Oh no, I absolutely, yeah.
That you're like it's a game.
I know
You're
it's
like
just a matter
you're
of
like the
time.
Tiger
In my
King.
mind, it's just a matter of time.
Oh, hello.
Because I have so much fun speaking about film trivia and knowledge and theories that we do on this show every week.
yeah.
That to do it with somebody that you admire or somebody that is doing it like big time, to be able to have these conversations with them would be mind blowing and fun. Like if I could sit down with Christopher Walken and ask him, I would ask him a lot of things, but a lot of things that does not have to do with movies. But yes, with stuff that doesn't.
Can I be completely honest with you?
What?
I think you will. I think you're. I'm telling you right now. I'm a director. I cast. I meet tons of people. You have a great personality. You're very
Thank you.
talented. I could totally see you doing that.
Thank you.
I'm
See,
just being, I'm being absolutely honest.
I would love to take over in the actor studio, man.
Yeah,
No
whatever.
one needs to interview these people.
Why-
And that's
why
what
you
gotta-
need.
Wait, Will Ferrell.
Now I'm sad.
Why?
You just did a full
James
circle.
Lipton just passed away.
I know.
But you
I
just did
know.
a full circle, guys. You realize you just did you did Will Ferrell, who played Lipton on Saturday Night Live.
He
He
did.
did.
He did with his giant
good
stack
job.
of cards.
Yeah.
He does
No,
a
that-
great job.
I love it because he'd always start off like how it's the greatest film of all time, and you're waiting for what it was, and it's like the worst movie. It's just like Joe Pesci in the greatest role ever. The movie Gone Fishing.
I love Gone Fishing. Borderline Living. That's one of my favorites. I'd be happy.
Perhaps the greatest role ever created in the history of mankind.
Nobody knows that movie. It's so just great. Like nobody knows that. But yeah, it's a good
I
one.
have
Look
not
it up,
seen
people.
that one.
Gone
That's how-
Fishing.
That's how good Will Ferrell was, because I never actually watched it in the actor studios yet. When he did that role, and I was like, "Who is he playing?" It's so I was cracking up.
You
and
never
I'm
seen
like,
the
"Who's-"
episode where he has James Lipton opposite of him?
No.
Yeah, I've seen that one.
The first time I
Dude.
saw him do Lipton, I was like, "Who's Lipton?" I looked it up, and then I started getting addicted to all the in the actor studios.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I still have them saved on my hard drive. They're so good.
All of them.
Not all of them, but as many as I could get.
Oh wow.
Of people you care about, at least. Right?
Yeah.
Some people I don't care.
Like there's
Okay.
hundreds of episodes,
Yeah.
but like
The Tom Hanks one's really good.
Tom Hanks one
I
is
saw
really
that one.
good.
Tom Hanks is Tom Hanks. He's just good. And everything he does,
How's he
He's
doing,
even
by the
good
way?
at-
I haven't heard any news. I'm
I think
assuming
it's corona
he's
he's
now.
doing good. He got the coronavirus and now he's just doing good. Because he's
I think-
Tom Hanks and he can't do wrong.
Yeah.
He's
even
not
when
allowed
he
to
has
die.
disease.
I
Yeah,
think
he is.
He's drinking Modelo's now. He's good.
He's too important to die.
Gluten
Hello.
free.
I would die. If he died, I would be like, I'm sorry, I can't do the show anymore.
Yeah.
I just can't.
Knock on wood. Tom
Knock
Hanks
on
will
wood.
not die ever.
Never.
Never ever. Okay.
He's gonna grow
Well,
old and he's gonna be doing old man roles like Paul Newman did.
I'm
Yeah.
down. Paul Newman was fine until he died. He was still looking good, old ass.
He was, and he made amazing dressing.
And lemonade. His lemonade is on point.
That
He has
Newman's
good
own.
dog food. Yep,
Absolutely.
he's got good dog food. You know, he's
He
good.
makes dog food too.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I think like half. I think at least like half of all his proceeds like go to like charities. and
All
stuff.
goes to his
That's
charities. Yeah.
Yeah, he actually was a good dude. I think
hmm
from what I've read, but who knows? He might have beat his dogs.
I tried to follow his like youthful remedy. His remedy was a bucket of ice water in the morning and 200 leg raises.
Oh.
Sounds like Joan Crawford. She would put.
I
ice
started
water
doing
on
it and
your
I
face.
lasted like a summer. I was like, I can't keep doing this ice water, man. It's freezing.
Oh yeah, you know that Wim Hof, whatever. You're that guy.
Who?
Wim Hof.
Mm,
He's this guy who set like all these records. Like if you Google it, he takes showers like freezing showers. He has like the longest he's ever been under in ice than anybody's broken records. And it's all
Jesus.
with your breathing and like changing like the temperature of your blood and everything. It's crazy.
Why would you do that?
Because he says, because you know how people like they like I think it's like in Iceland and stuff, they jump into the water and everything. Apparently, it's supposed to be like really good for you. Like
Yeah, it aids in longevity. It helps with your skin.
Yeah,
There's a
athletes
number
do
of
that.
benefits to
Cryogenic.
submerging yourself in ice water.
Yeah, what's that thing
Well,
called? The
yeah.
athletes do?
The
Well,
what?
yeah,
It's the thing where they go inside and it's like all the athletes
the
do.
ice tank.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, those freaking.
Well, I've
I
done
don't
that
know.
before because I've had shin splints and I've had to like stick my legs in them to like help and stuff like that. But
Oh.
I don't know. Joan Crawford used to stick her face in ice water so that it would tighten her skin up to make her look younger and be tighter.
Mhm.
Like I've heard of that, but
That-
I don't know.
Does work, but I'm not gonna keep doing it because it's freezing.
Well, when I start looking old, I will.
That's the only reason. I'm just gonna age. Just
No,
let me
that's
age
right.
like Clooney.
You're a guy, you can age. It's women who can't.
You're like I stick my face. I stuck my face in ice in a bowl of ice for the longest time, and I stopped doing it. You know why? You know the reason why? It was cold.
It was fucking cold, like
It was
freezing
just,
cold.
Too cold.
It's
So,
freezing.
I
Robin,
didn't think it would be.
Robin, where'd you grow up?
It's a little town called Lompoc. If you ever heard of it.
I got arrested there once. Yeah,
Are you serious?
yeah.
You got arrested there?
Well, I got my car impounded there. Yeah.
Ah.
Because I had a unpaid ticket on my license and I was driving faster than I should
Down H.
down the 5, or it might have been.
Where is this? Where is this place?
So
It's where Zac Efron is from.
I don't know where fucking Zach
No.
Efron's from.
Yeah, he's from Lompoc.
Zac Efron's not from Lompoc.
Mm-hmm.
Where's
No, he's
Lompoc?
not.
Yep.
It's here in California.
Yes,
I've
it's like
never-
it's up towards Frisco, but it's like halfway between.
So Central California.
Yeah, central. You might call it Central California.
So if you look at the map of California, I call it the nipple of California because it looks like a nipple. It's like a little boop at the
Yeah.
on the
Mhm.
coast. That's
Uh-huh.
Lompoc.
Yeah.
It's
What's
the
the
last
biggest
town
city?
it's the last town in Santa Barbara County that's north, and then once you pass
Oh,
that,
okay.
it's Santa Maria.
Oh, okay. Oh, so you're like a little small beach town.
Mhm. See, and I
It's
got
kinda
arrested
more-
by Santa Maria County. So I don't know if they did
yeah,
that
yeah,
right.
yeah.
But yeah, I got pulled over. They impounded my car and said, "Nope, your license is suspended. We're taking this shit. We'll drop you off at motel or something." I was like, "I guess that's what we got to do." Called my
Yeah,
buddy at like 10 o'clock at night. He made it up there around like 2:33 in the morning. Picked me up and my phone was dead and everything. I just told him exactly where I was, and he was such a good friend. He's like, "Dude, I'm on my way." And then one of our friends was sitting next to him. He's like, "Where are you going?" I was like, "I'm going to pick up Jason. He's up in fucking Lompoc." I was like, "Oh shit, let's go." So midnight shotgun ride up to Lompoc to pick me up. We got home at like 5 in the morning, and he had work at 6 a.m.
Oh,
Yeah.
Well, we're famous for the two things that we're famous for is the Air Force Base, which all like the major missiles come out of. So when you saw like Musk did that whole X whatever he does,
Mhm.
remember that everybody thought it was aliens. They looked up, they're like, "What the hell is that?" And he did the X SpaceX whatever.
Yeah.
That was out of Vandenberg. So like I said, Vandenberg Air Force Base is an Air Force base, and we have a huge prison there. So it was like a
Mhm.
weird mix of like prison families, military families, and then kind of near the beach, but I mean there was a couple surf heads, but not really too many. But our town was very, now I think they're trying to be like, was it gentrify they call it? Like it's like, oh, we have wineries and we're doing all this fancy. I think they're doing like skydiving now, but like when I was a kid, there was like nothing there.
I see.
I ain't against skydiving. I do it. We got a big one out here in Paris. I should just go to skydive.
I died.
Fuck that.
I flew out of a plane with my 80 at the time, my 87-year-old grandma.
Really?
See?
Yeah.
She did it?
She wanted it for her 87th birthday, and I said, and I've always wanted to do it. I said, I'm doing it with you because how cool is it to jump out of a plane with your grandma?
Absolutely.
Your grandma.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
And the same day that I jumped out of the plane, is when I picked up the ring. Speaking for another full circle to the
Nice.
wedding
He was like-
crashers.
So this was like a
You're right.
couple of years ago then.
Yeah, it was 2018. I
Okay.
had the ring sent to my parents' house because I didn't want it obviously sent here because we're living together. So I had it sent to their house, and so I jumped out of a plane in Paris, California, with my 87-year-old grandma, picked up the ring, and came home. And
Yeah, see, you
That's
did it
awesome.
down here. Nice.
Yeah.
All right, well,
All right, well, let's
move
get
on
back to
the
this
drink game.
movie. We haven't talked about the movie in like 30
but
minutes.
we went full circle back to the movie though, because now we're
Back to the movie.
Now we're back to the movie.
So, are you guys ready?
Yes. Wait, what?
Are you ready for the motherfucking drinking game? Yes, sir.
Yes,
That
I'm
was
ready.
good.
I'm very
Okay.
excited for this drink game. I haven't even thought of like if I want to add anything because I'm pretty sure you got this one covered.
I think I got it on lock. We'll see.
All right.
I took advice from you guys from last week because I kind of went a little ham on the game. So I was going to be a little better this week. Let's see how we go with that. So grab your strawberry daiquiri or any kind of daiquiri or your
I'm drinking
wackery.
Ashley's daiquiri.
Yeah, or your wackery or just a bottle of whiskey and get ready for the motherfucking drinking game. So you're going to take one sip
One sip.
when someone says a rule.
Yes.
Any of the rules. Never leave a fellow crasher behind. Never draw attention to yourself. That's like bad attention. You
Mhm.
know,
Rule
all
number
of the
16,
rules.
give me an up-to-date family tree. You made me look like an idiot.
don't commit to a family member if you're not sure if they're alive or dead or not.
Okay.
These are rules. Any of those rules, you hear a rule, you're gonna take a sip.
Okay.
You're gonna take a sip when somebody drinks. Now, there is a lot of alcoholic drinking in
Yes,
this movie.
there is. I like the
So
mom.
get it together.
Would somebody get me another scotch for Christ's sake?
When can I have servants to make me drinks? That's what I'm waiting for. I just made this whole goddamn house daiquiris before I came up here. Nobody makes me drinks. Yesterday, was my birthday, and I was still making everybody mimosas.
Oh, is your pops drinking a daiquiri right now?
He is drinking a daiquiri right now. He downstairs. He
Oh,
good.
nice.
Karina was telling me that you make her and your dad a drink every time we do the episode now.
They asked for them. I make it for somebody. Got to drink it with me, so I know they're good, and it's not just me. Okay, so you're gonna take a sip
Uh-huh.
when someone has sex or does something sexual.
Oh my God.
That's
so
a
this
lot.
is
So
the titty montage.
I was
This
saying
is what?
that's also the drinking montage. You're just
That's
gonna
like
keep
a
it.
favorite movie.
You're gonna keep that daiquiri right here through that whole montage.
Just get it ready.
That's like saying every time you have to take a drink every time the camera's rolling.
Uh-huh.
Every time there's film on the screen, you're gonna take a sip.
There's a lot of titties in this movie.
So that means the titties. That means when John grabs kitty cat's titties. When Gloria is fondling fucking Jeremy under the table.
It feels
This
so
is
good
when
when
Todd-
he jokes.
Yep, feels so good. This is when Todd is sexually assaulting him in the bed.
Oh my God.
Wait, he said, let's play tummy sticks.
I don't want to play
No,
76.
no, I
I
don't
don't want
wanna
to
play- I don't
play.
wanna play.
Get the fucking closet
I don't
right
wanna
now.
Get in the closet. He's like, okay, I'll pop out. I'll pop out at the right time.
Do you notice that scene where he runs to the closet? I think they reversed it. You notice that?
Did they?
It looks like he's coming out.
Watch the scene again. I think he was coming out and they reversed the clip. As I'm an editor, so I know his movie is.
I
not
know that
natural.
his movements did seem a little creepy and robotic.
Yeah.
So you might be right on that. Yeah.
Check it.
I have to rewatch it.
I think they reversed the clip.
Okay.
Okay.
Pop out at the right moment.
No, you stay in. There's no right move.
No, you
Stay in the closet. So you go take a sip when Jeremy gets hurt. So this is the
Nice.
football game. This is him just, getting hurt left and right. This fool.
We
So
get shot in
anytime
the ass.
anytime he gets hurt, you go take a sip. You get
Leave me
shot
in the
ass.
trenches
That is
taking
a
grenades, John. You selfish son of a bitch.
selfish son of a bitch. Just leaving me here, Judas. Okay, so you gonna take a sip
Mm-hmm.
when Zach shows his real self. So this is when he's calling his douchebag friends,
Mhm.
talking about strippers.
Man, did
That's
you hit
him,
that
all this
again?
stuff.
Yo, what's the house? Once back in the cab.
Man, sluts.
Sluts!
That was
Man.
Claire.
God, sluts!
Dude, that's the best part. That guy's so like, he's so like,
He's waspy. You might.
he's on the tennis court. And he's just like, man, sluts.
Sluts! Who doesn't like sluts?
That's like so
Yeah.
not cool.
So anytime my baby boo Bradley Cooper is showing his true self, you're gonna take a simp.
Okay.
You gonna take a simp when Gloria or Todd violates Jeremy.
Nice.
So anytime where she's like jumping on top of him, I'm also going to take
I'm
Jeremy.
not being
doing the
adventurous
painting.
enough for you. Oh, the painting. Yeah.
I'm gonna take the painting. All those. You gonna fucking take a simp. Okay.
I'll find you.
No, that crazy
I'll
ass.
thank you. She's crazy.
She's out of her mind.
I know. She's like, ha, ha, ha.
You know,
Okay,
that
so
actress,
you go-
she was
Isla
married-
Fisher?
She was married to Baron Cohen.
Yep.
I don't know if they are anymore, but they were.
I think they divorced now.
I think they are.
I think
Oh,
they're-
are they? Oh shit!
if
I know
no-
they had a baby together.
That's one funny
This
ass
is-
baby.
Dude, that's
I
a
know,
talented
right?
fucking baby.
Oh.
We'll, in like 10 years,
Talented
we're
fucking
going to see
baby.
that kid on camera.
Yeah.
Okay. What do we got?
Take a simp. You're gonna hate me on this one, but every
No.
time they go to a new wedding, so this is the Asian wedding, the Italian wedding. This is just
The
you know when
Jewish
he's drunk and-
wedding.
the Jewish wedding. I always thought that it was. I was waiting for them to go to a black wedding to
Uh-huh.
have like. I think that would have been very funny. Trying
That
to
would have
see
been
them be like,
hilarious.
oh yeah, you know I'm
Leroy's
Auntie-
adopted
Auntie,
son.
Kiki's, yeah, Kiki's adopted son. You remember the neighbor? They're like, oh yeah, he was a tall white boy, and it would have been funny, but they didn't have that one, and I wish they would have crashed our party, especially
That would-
our family weddings.
Dude. Yes. No, Zenobi, can you scoot forward a little bit? Your audio is cracking up. Not that close, like 6 inches. Robin, you're good. What are you guys doing?
I'm sorry. Okay, so you gonna take a simp
Uh-huh.
when John tells a lie. So when he lies about who he is,
About holy shirts
he
and pants.
lies- holy shirts and pants,
Okay.
when he lies to Claire
About being a sailor.
about being a sailor, all of that shit. You don't take a simp because he's a lying son of a bitch.
Mm-hmm.
I am motorboater son of a bitch. That's what he is.
Would you say you're completely full of shit or just 50%?
I would like to say that I'm 50%.
But who knows?
Is that what he said?
Yeah, that's when the
knows?
blonde girl gets out of bed. She's like, all right, I'm out of here.
I don't know anymore.
Yeah.
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 By the way, whoever's playing this game is already wasted after like the first 10 minutes.
Yep.
Oh yeah, that's a Zenobia drinking game.
Yep.
I like.
You're
I
meant
need
to
to hang
stay
out with you more.
indoors when you do these drinking games. You're not
I
going
need-
out
Yeah.
afterwards.
I need to hang out with Zenobia more. Like, this sounds amazing.
Come through. These drinking games are fun. You do them, and the thing is that I add so many rules that you're most likely going to forget a bunch of these rules, and you're going to be drunk.
Yeah.
But you will remember, like, oh shit, somebody's drinking. They're having sex. You know, there's enough of
Yeah.
them that you will get fucked up
Mhm.
with this. And if you did everything that was in this movie, you will die. So no.
Let's not get into a vehicle. during
Yeah. Oh yeah. No. I tell everybody these are stay home
Yeah.
drinking
This is
game.
COVID-19 drinking games.
Yeah, big
exactly.
time.
Where you ain't got nowhere else to go but to bed after you're
Mhm.
done. So you gonna finish your drink
Uh-huh.
when they go to the Clary's wedding. So this is where he first sees Clara. Is that her name? Claire.
Claire.
When you first see her and they're at the wedding, you gonna finish your drink. You're gonna finish your drink when they decide to go on their hunting trip.
Okay.
So this is when Sack finally
Everything's ready for the
Man's
quail
up.
hunt.
they're gonna shoot some small little birds that are quails. That's what they're about to do.
Mhm.
You gonna finish your drink.
I don't have a problem.
Overpopulating this area, Jeremy. You got a fucking problem with that?
Or he's like, I don't really have a problem with anything except for like the overall way that you're speaking to me. But let's go shoot the birds.
You know, why are you talking to me like a fucking crazy person, right? All right, so you gonna finish your drink when John busts into the wedding. So when he comes in and he's doing his speech about don't marry that douchebag, marry me.
The graduate scene.
The graduate
Yeah.
scene. Except
The Wayne's World scene. Cassandra.
Wayne's World, yeah. They all stole from
Which
the Graduate.
also features
They
Christopher
did.
Walken.
Oh.
In that scene, he's
full
like,
circle.
You know who else stole from The Graduate? And I love this director. I love all of his films, but he pretty much just based all of his films off The Graduate
Ooh.
and took it to the next level. Wes Anderson, man.
ah.
Immensely influenced by The Graduate. Had to have been.
I'm going to have to take a second look at The
And I
Graduate
was
now.
forced to watch that. I was forced to watch The Graduate for school. It is
Mhm.
a good movie. It is cool on writing.
I was forced to, but I liked it.
Yeah.
But I liked it.
A lot of scenes in that movie too. Like there was just something that day I watched where it's like they take from that movie so much, like the scene where it's like her leg and then you see the guy
Shape of the V, and then
behind.
Hoffman is
It's
right
been used
behind
in
it.
so many movies.
so many.
Yeah.
Even The Simpsons, they do that with
The ant,
fucking-
right?
What's his face?
Yeah.
They do it with the ant. He walks in. Oh, and the voice is done by Dustin Hoffman as well. That character.
that's
that
Is
they-
it really?
they do. Yeah, in the
Oh,
Simpsons
that's
episode.
awesome.
So they use Dustin Hoffman, and he goes, "I think you're trying to seduce me, Mrs. Krabappel," and it's like, it's funny. It is all over pop culture. They even do a one where the grandpas bust into a wedding and they pulls the bride out and they get on the bus and they do the bus scene at the end where they're just sitting there like, what the fuck? Are we
Mhm.
supposed to?
Yeah, what do we
Did
do
just
now?
that? What do we do now?
And if you ever seen Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind,
Uh-huh.
the way that film ends is very similar to the ending of The Graduate, where it's like, where do we go from here?
Where do we go
Yeah.
from here? Yeah,
And it's like the best way to end a movie ever,
Yeah.
because that's real life.
I know. But some people don't like that. My dad hates
Everybody
movies
wants a
that don't
fairy
have-
tale ending or a
Yeah.
tragedy
happy ending.
ending.
Yeah.
I don't really. I mean, when I was a kid, I needed it, but now I kind of like to see an ending like that because it's still hopeful, but it doesn't have all the answers.
Mm-hmm.
I love endings that fuck up your shit. Like
Yeah.
fucking.
What's
The
that
Mist.
movie Anton Yelchin did where he falls in love with this girl and they're stuck in between America and Europe because of visa restrictions? And
I know what you're talking about. I
they're
didn't see
trying
that. I
so
heard it was
hard
really
to
sad.
be together, and then finally everything comes to fruition and they're actually able to be with each other and live in the same country and everything.
What was his
and-
name? The actor?
Anton Yelchin.
Oh man, rest in peace. That guy was a great actor.
Yeah,
That's
he
sad.
was really good. The fucked up part is they leave that movie just like that. So they're finally living together. They got everything they want, but at this point they're different people because it's been so much time. And
Yeah.
they're like taking a shower together, and it's like you're watching two strangers take a shower.
like
And
crazy.
that's how they end the movie.
Like crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wanted to see that. I heard that was really good, but it's another
Okay.
thing.
Oh shit! I'm sorry, man. I just told you the ending.
Honestly,
Please edit this out for everybody so they don't get the spoiler.
I was checking IMDb, so I didn't catch it. So I'm glad I didn't. But Zenobia was saying earlier, you were talking about how you didn't want to watch. Was it This Is Us? Is that what the show's called?
Yeah.
Mhm.
mhm.
It's the same thing. I saw this trailer and I was like, this looks really good. I like all the actors, but I'm going to bawl my eyes out. I do not feel like that tonight.
It's gonna break
Yeah.
your heart.
I kept
I gotta
passing
be in a
over.
good mood.
It's gonna break
gotta
your
be
heart
good.
in the best way.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm an actor, and I usually gravitate towards drama and action. And so if it's breaking my heart, I just like leap towards it. I want to feel pain and anger and jealousy. And in my book, every emotion is a 10.
Yeah.
So
I agree, but I mean these type of shows or this movie, and I could be totally wrong. The way that they put out the trailer, the way it makes it feel like it's all just going to be like this one subject, like this love that can never happen, and it's like I'm gonna get depressed. Like if it had like all these other stories, like espionage or like some other stuff, and it had that in there, then maybe I'd be like, I'm gonna check this out. It has everything, like Breaking
Yeah.
Bad.
Yeah.
it does have a variation. Like there are rises and falls, and there's sometimes when you like get excited and you're rooting for somebody, it's like things that you want to see that never happen, especially like with the actor brother in the first episode. So he does some stuff in the first episode on set that you were like, oh fuck yeah, I wish that this would happen on one of my productions.
Yeah.
Well, actually, you don't wish this would happen on one of your productions, but you would love to see it happen on somebody else's production. I'll say it that way. But,
I love your vinyl collection behind you, by the way.
Oh, thank you. You see my
That's what I
vinyl?
got right here. Whoop, whoop.
you still got 80s month up.
Vinyl collection.
Yeah.
All right here.
Love it.
I didn't have any vinyl to go with this movie.
Mm.
Or else I would have. I was looking. I thought I had Shout, but I didn't.
I was gonna say, who's that one done by? That's not the Isley Brothers.
Yeah, the original, yeah. And there's a Beatles one,
Uh-huh.
and I didn't have either one of those, so I didn't.
I thought
Okay,
that
it is the
was,
Isley Brothers that does that.
Yeah, they're the original, I believe.
Okay, I got you.
Yeah.
All right. Well, can I make a suggestion for this drinking game?
Please do.
Okay. The only thing that I would add, because you've already thickened up this drinking game, is you got to take a simp anytime that Vince Vaughn is eating something.
He's like, I'm not going to eat with you right now because I like to
It's
recharge
only
my
gonna make me
batteries.
upset.
It's going to make me, and I don't want to talk about last night because it's only going to make me upset.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna go
Kimasabi's
here
gonna
and
go
eat.
over here and have a little flavor.
He's like, I love you, man. And he's like, I love you too. Just top me off with a little bit of the syrup right there on
You
the
can
top.
get some syrup on the
and-
top there.
He's talking about the crab cakes. He's eating all the time.
The whole-
All of
the whole
it.
beginning
Loose
montage-
bacon, wrapped scallops, phenomenal.
Wraps-
The whole,
oh,
the whole beginning montage of him at doing the weddings when he's like at the cake, he's just like stuffing his mouth.
Yeah, it's like he gets in there while the bride and groom are cutting the cake. You're like, what are you doing? You don't get to
Spin-
drink like that. You got to treat cake like a lady.
It's so
he's
good.
all in their goddamn pictures and shit. They're like, who is this tall
Yeah.
motherfucker?
And if you
I
look
thought he was your
closely,
friend.
Owen Wilson is covering for him in that moment. Like he's going overboard, and Owen Wilson's like, look at that over there. Don't look
He's,
at this.
he's got all the food in his mouth. He's just like, ha ha, jabroni. Like, at the Italian wedding.
All right,
Yes.
that's my only addition is take a simp anytime that Vince Vaughn's character is eating.
All right, Robin. What about
Can I
you?
add- I can add one.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know how many times he does it in this film, but I know he does it in so many different films, and you can find like a compilation on YouTube, and it's pretty amazing. But I would say every time that Owen Wilson goes, wow, he just goes, wow,
Wow.
wow. He says the word wow. There's actually, you can YouTube it, how many times he said wow in movies he's done, and it's just a compilation, and it's like, you're going to watch it and go, wow.
I watched the trailer
is.
of his new project earlier today, and that's exactly what he fucking says.
Wow. I mean, it's just really funny to think of that. There's so many actors out there that have their little, he does his wow, Keanu Reeves is whoa. And like,
Denzel guarantees everything.
he guarantees Will Smith goes like, whoa. Adam Sandler, he's always saying, what's the matter with you? Like, they all have these like lines that constantly, I mean, how many times did Samuel L. Jackson say motherfucker? I mean, we
Oh
wait
my
for it.
god.
We wait for it.
But Sam Jackson actually even like, he said he would only do Snakes on a Plane if they changed the line to, I'm sick and tired of these motherfucking snakes on this motherfucker.
On this motherfucking plane.
Nice.
Yeah.
He said, if you let me say that
And
line,
that-
I'll do
that's
the
what-
movie.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I read. I don't know if it's bullshit, but
It is true because it was I think it was a PG-13 movie, so they only had so many
That's right,
F-bombs
yeah.
that they could use.
Mm.
And he was like, look, if you go have me, you need to let me say motherfucker at least
That's
twice.
what the
in
people
one
wanna
minute.
see.
Come
They
That's
want
what
to
we
see
want to see.
how many different ways you can say motherfucker.
And I'm happy every time he says it.
From
You know
day
what?
one.
You know what they call a motherfucker in France?
Royale with cheese.
You know my favorite. By the way, speaking of Owen Wilson, one of my favorite lines from Owen Wilson ever in a movie is off screen. He used to do that. This was like his type of comedy. He would just say lines off screen. It was like a big thing in like Wes Anderson films
Mhm.
where you'd hear him off screen saying something. It would just crack you up. And it was in Cable Guy. Did you ever see that movie, Cable
Yep.
Guy?
Cable guy.
Yeah, and
He's Robin's date.
he's Robin's date, and he's having the date, and he keeps like interrupting the date, trying to get to know her, and he's just like, yeah, cool. Hey, waiter, where's that
What's-
chicken?
what's
I
with
ordered
the
a chicken
chicken?
like an hour ago, right? So he keeps doing that, and then he like interrupts her and goes, I gotta go to the bathroom, and he gets up, and she's just waiting there, and you hear him off screen going, hey man, what is going on with that chicken? Like in the background,
Uh-huh.
He's just saying random shit.
he just can't
I
stop.
love
Yeah.
it.
And you just see Leslie Mann just sitting there like, how the fuck do I get out of this date?
We
is
need
up
to
with
do
that
that
chicken?
movie. I love it.
Oh, I
Cable
fucking
Guy.
love that movie.
I love when he
Absolutely.
goes to the movie. Yeah, I had my 18th birthday at medieval times because of that movie. I love when he's like doing his hair. He's like, "You want me to do your hair for you?" And he's like,
Yeah. Why are you doing
Little
this?
touch of
David?
alfalfa.
you know, pow.
When he makes some breakfast, he's like, "Why are you doing this, David? I made you scrappy eggs.
Uh-huh. Everything was going so well.
It was so good."
I can fix
Alright,
it. I can make it
that
better.
is the motherfucking
Drinking game.
game.
This delay is not working for our harmony.
Yes, I know. I miss being in there with you. It sucks.
I think I got it though. It's like the motherfucking drinking game.
Ooh,
Nice.
I like it.
So you're gonna replace me with the singer. Awesome.
You gotta go high and then look. You gotta go my motherfucking drinking game.
Yay!
All right, before we dive in,
Yes,
I got another drink in the freezer, and I'm gonna grab it.
Okay.
What, you freezing your drinks now?
Yeah, I taught him well. He already made it, so you might as well put it in there.
Oh, that's true. I'm like, I want to see him blend on camera.
No, we tried that. That was hard, so we don't do that anymore.
You guys using regular blenders, or you guys got the Ninja or whatever, that crazy one?
He's got the Ninja or
You got
whatever.
the Ninja.
I
Yeah,
got
I
the
knew you'd
Ninja.
have the Ninja, man. I see all your workout videos. I knew you had the Ninja. You got the NutriBullet. You got the Ninja.
Yeah,
No, I just got the
basic
Ninja.
ass blender.
You got a banana tree in your backyard.
We have an avocado
side
tree
holes.
and an apple tree in the front yard that we're trying to grow.
Wait, you serious? I was joking. You're serious?
Oh, dude, my mom has the greenest thumb, and
You do.
so they're still in pots, so that when we buy a house, we can take them with us.
Man, that's awesome, man. I always wanted a garden.
Yeah.
was-
Well, I worked at Home Depot for 15 years. I don't know if I ever told you that. And so 7 of those years was in the garden department. So I have a love for plants and
I was gonna say,
vegetables
man,
and stuff.
Did you love working there? Because I have to say, as a person, maybe not working for
We both were like, no.
maybe not working for the company, but as a customer,
Uh-huh.
I could literally just spend like 5 hours in a Home Depot. I could just walk around and just imagine.
I will say this. I learned a hell of a lot working there.
Yeah.
And so like I do all my home repairs and like build like furniture and stuff now and then. And I take care of my own plants and front yard and stuff. But working there is an absolute nightmare. It puts a lot of hate in your
really?
heart. And the company itself is terrible to work for. I quit.
Oh, that sucks.
One, because I was losing money every year. So the raises didn't even keep up with inflation. They didn't keep up with the increase in rent every year. They didn't even keep up with the increase in gas. It was really shitty to work for.
That sucks.
But if I was any kind of smart, I would have become a manager early. Because like I said, I did 15 years there. I could have become a manager in like 3 years and been making 6 figures. But I never thought that I would last that long. And I also didn't know that I was going to become an actor.
Yeah.
So
I just spend an hour. I could walk into Home Depot and spend an hour just imagining what kind of treehouse I want to make.
well,
All right, cut this goddamn,
we're not cutting shit. Not for
cut this
YouTube.
Home Depot shit out. Not for YouTube. Y'all can
If
know
you
how
actually
much
went
we hate
into
it.
Home Depot and like I was still working there, I would just spend an hour with you because I desperately tried to get fired towards the end and they wouldn't do it. And so I would just like, if I saw a customer and I actually enjoyed talking to them instead of the normal shitty questions and stuff, I would actually just help them with their entire project.
You're blowing my mind right now.
No one gives a shit about this stuff. We talk about movies. So let's
Let's get started on the movie then.
I don't want to talk about bolts and wrenches and shit.
I don't know if I've mentioned this, but Home Depot is my least favorite place on the earth. Like,
Oh, my man.
You haven't even told me that.
My dad would be like, I'm leaving. I'll be back. I'd be like, where are you going? He'd be like, do you want to come? I'd be like, I don't know where you going. He'd be like, do you want to come? I'd be like, okay. And I'd go. And we'd end up at motherfucking Home Depot for hours. And I was sitting there as a little kid. So I always hated it. So even as an adult, like when I had roommates and my friends who would ask me to drive them to Home Depot, I would usually tell them like, nah, I fucking hate Home Depot. I don't want to go there with you. And they'd have to bribe me like, we'll go to In-N-Out or something. I'll buy you champagne if you take me to Home Depot. Like that's how much I don't.
But did he take you during Halloween? Because Halloween, you could just spend the whole day in the Halloween section just pushing buttons and just.
That's actually a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's fun.
There's a Halloween section?
There's a Halloween
Crazy.
section.
It's like the best Halloween section ever.
Guess
I
what?
don't know. I don't
This is
go
ending
there.
up on Instagram now, just because you told me to cut it.
Cut it. You need to cut it. Okay,
Cut
So-
it out.
cut it out.
All right,
start
let's
talking
dive
about
into this
film.
movie
I'm running out
because
of
we got a
drink.
big
Not
cast.
about a rum. All right.
All right, so Wedding Crashers is directed by Mr. David Dobkin.
Dobkin.
So, like I said, he was just coming off of his other movie with Owen Wilson, Shanghai Noon, right before this. However, my dude started in music videos like a lot of directors do. Robin, as well, has directed a fair amount of music videos.
Okay.
So, David, started with some digital underground music videos, actually. He did I Get Around, and
I
he
Get
did
Around.
Keep Your Head Up. That was two of his first jobs ever.
With Tupac.
Mhm.
Wow.
Yeah, and right after that, he jumped in with Coolio doing that 1, 2, 3, 4, get your ass up on the floor.
On the floor. Okay.
Gonna get up and get down.
Gotta get up and get down. Okay.
Mhm.
So he was hitting up the 90s pretty good.
Yeah. And that was his 90s time. It was in 2003 that he did Shanghai Nights. When the hell did he do Shanghai Noon?
What is Shanghai Night?
It's Owen Wilson and Jackie Chan. You never seen it? We got to play
Shanghai-
that drinking game. When they're
Well,
in the
no.
tub and they're drinking.
Wait, are you on IMDb right now?
Yeah.
What's the
I thought it was Shanghai New.
Shanghai Nights is part 2.
Oh, I never even heard of it. That's why I was confused.
Are you on the director's IMDb?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Do you see his top movie?
What is it?
Looking at right now.
Wedding Crashers 2!
Yes.
What?
Did you not see
Oh,
that?
shit.
You didn't do your research. Yes, there is talk
leave-
of a Wedding Crashers 2.
That's amazing.
I usually leave the director to you.
This is true.
I don't know if you noticed that.
This is true.
I usually leave that for you.
So there has always been talk of a part 2, and the director and Vince Vaughn and Owen Wilson did want to do one all the way back since like 2007 or something like that. And they had an idea for doing it where there was a better wedding crasher who invades their world somehow, and they wanted that wedding crasher to be Daniel Craig.
Interesting.
But somehow that just never came to be. But it has been announced that David is doing Wedding Crashers 2. However, nobody's attached yet.
Okay. You know I love my twos, so
Mhm.
I'm already down.
I don't know if you
that
could
it
do
should
better than part 1, though.
No, you're never gonna do better.
fit.
Not with this one.
Terminator 2 is like the only movie that ever like killed the first movie. Like, there's no 2s that are better than the first one.
Zenobia begs to differ.
I beg to differ because Die Hard with a Vengeance is the best Die Hard.
That's like part
It's the
4,
best.
though.
That's
It's
4.
part 3. It's 3.
It's part 3. You're right. It's part 3.
No, no, that's 3. Yeah,
That's
yeah.
3.
That is
Okay.
the best one, though.
I love the first
I
one,
agree with you.
but
That's my
I
favorite.
would watch part 3 hands down.
It goes 1 and then 3.
I'm gonna say 3 and then 1.
2's not that good.
2's
Well,
not
I-
that good.
I will even
It's
say
not.
this. I will even say this. Die Hard and 3, both different movies, but both on the same wavelength of awesomeness.
Sure.
I will allow
So
it.
you did have a
allow it.
list though of like and I remember agreeing with your list of like 2s that were better than 1. But I don't remember what
2
movies
is
they
my
were.
Favorite, is my favorite Godfather.
That's true too.
Okay.
All right.
It's- I'm just saying it's
Godfather 2 is
rare,
my
though.
favorite.
It's rare.
Like you said, T2 is better than the first one.
Mm-hmm.
I like Iron Man, any other Iron Man than the first one better. So at least the second one and the third one were pretty bomb.
I'm gonna
Um,
say no on that one.
disagree with you on that
I mean-
one.
First one I
That's
think
me.
is better.
I like 2 better.
I liked 2, don't get me wrong, but I think that the first one was the best and they got increasingly less good.
Yeah, like, but not by much. Just a
I
little
like
bit.
Mickey
Just
Rourke.
A little down.
I think
I-
Mickey Rourke did good in part 2. And what is his name? The dude with the glasses. I fucking love him and I always forget his name.
Oh, you talking about the You talking about Rockwell?
Sam Rockwell.
Sam
Yes.
Oh yeah.
So
Great.
I mean,
like
he
him.
always turns in a great
Yeah,
performance.
he's great, man.
I mean, and
Green
I
Mile.
Mm-hmm.
oh, he's the worst in that. I love it.
Green Mile, he's so terrible.
I like
He's
him in
such a
Charlie's
good bad
Angels
guy.
personally.
You're seeing
But
movie-
with Wedding Crashers 2,
Uh-huh.
I would say that they make it so that, there's a gay guy busting into these weddings, picking up on dudes. Nobody's expecting this fabulous, well-dressed dude or chick to go in there. You expect some guys that look like Vince Vaughn and Owen Wilson to be going in there.
Please bring in Wayne Brady and Neil Patrick Harris as the Wedding Crasher.
That would be amazing.
I like that.
That would be
Since they're-
so great.
Since they're brothers.
Since
that's a
they're
good one.
brothers, absolutely.
I would say
In Hot Man Brother,
Yeah.
I love
Yeah.
that show.
I would say NPH and what's his face from Schitt's Creek, the guy who plays David.
Oh, Levy's son.
Yes,
Mhm.
he would be a great one to come in and just be a great.
Is it his real son? I haven't seen Schitt's Creek.
His real son.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, he actually created the show.
He did create the
Eugene
show.
Levy did?
Yeah.
No,
No, his son.
His son
Yeah.
created it. Oh,
Dan,
nice.
Is it Dan
Okay.
Levy? I think it's Dan. Levy.
Dan Levy, yeah. David.
Yeah. Yeah, Dan
I
Levy.
got you.
That
Well,
show's hilarious.
another notable project that Mr. David worked on, David Dobkin, our director, that is Maroon 5's music video "Sugar."
I was just gonna say, man, these are like the most like questionable things that he's worked on. Is all these Maroon 5 videos.
Yeah. So
Really-
it started with that one because, as if you've seen the music video, they are crashing weddings and doing
Weddings,
live
singing.
performances. They
Yep.
got that from this movie, and they got
Yep.
the director to do it.
Yeah.
So the
But
bride and
it
groom
was
didn't
back
know
when they
about
were
it.
good.
The bridal party didn't know about it, and then all of a sudden, Maroon 5 is just showing up and doing performances for these weddings.
I'd be like, who's this skinny ass white dude
Well-
singing at my wedding? You better get out of here.
Well, it says right here on the director's IMDb that his objective as a director is she will be loved.
Ooh,
His
I love that one.
objective? What
His
do you mean?
objective as a director. My objective as a director is she will be loved.
She will be loved.
Ah.
He's talking about the Maroon.
Wait, did he
Maroon
do
5
that
song,
music
right?
video?
No, it's just a Maroon 5 joke.
Ah, okay.
It's like if there's one thing that I'm gonna do as a director is make sure that she will be loved.
That she
Nice.
will. Be
She will
loved.
be loved.
It's gonna
She
take a
will be
lot for him to do Wedding Crashers 2 to meet the bar.
Yeah.
Because Wedding Crashers 1 is among the 50 greatest comedies of all time, according
Well, what
to
did-
some polls and stuff.
What did you think
True.
about Dumb and Dumber 2?
I think
agree with
it
you.
waited too long.
I agree with you, but it wasn't that bad for what it was.
I also agree. I don't think it was as bad. There were some funny moments.
Yeah,
I
there's
do
some
think
fun
that they waited way too long to
Way
fucking
too
do it.
long.
They waited
If they
way too
would've-
long, and
The
I don't.
max was 5
I'd have to
years, they should've
rewatch
waited
it
and
just
did it.
based off your guys' recommendations because I think I checked out when I watched it.
It wasn't the worst.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't as bad as Dumb and Dumber.
Sure.
That one sucked.
But also, do you think that they can bring back all of these characters? Do you think they can bring back Walken and Vince Vaughn and Owen Wilson and
Yeah,
now
because-
Isla Fisher and
they were
Rachel
married- 'cause they
McAdams? They're
married the
all
girls.
huge stars now. Could they even afford to make this movie now?
Nah, they're not that big. I mean, not big enough to not do it too. They
What?
got all- they got
Not
all
big
the
enough to not do it
rappers.
too, but they're all A-list stars now. Like this was Isla Fisher's first big movie.
It's the first thing I remember her in. Yeah.
Yeah. And I actually auditioned with the casting director for this movie. Her name's Lisa Beach. And I did a workshop with her, and she told me about Isla Fisher's audition. So she auditioned with that scene with Vince Vaughn, where she's patching him up, and she's telling him, I'm not wearing any panties, and like, where's my little
Yeah.
friend? And then she like squirts his
little
knee,
friend?
and like, because there's so many variations to her character in that, and she just knocked it out of the fucking park. She's like, there was no question in my mind that Isla Fisher was going to be in this movie.
She was crazy.
Yeah.
Well,
this
she
is
was
what,
she's. I guarantee you, she's already talented,
Mhm.
and then she fucking is like with Sacha Baron Cohen has like no fear. Probably raised her confidence, so she just goes in auditions and just like kills it. 'cause
well, this
she's
was
already
before
good.
they even knew each other.
Is this before?
Uh-huh.
I thought they were dating when he was doing Ollie G.
Were they?
I think they were.
Maybe.
I don't know. I just know that they got married after Bull Rat. So
Okay.
I don't
I
know.
could be wrong on that one. But
But he
either
did
way,
have a
Yeah, but I mean,
Bull Rat.
if I was friends with Sacha Baron Cohen, no matter how talented I was, I think just being around him would maybe go, this guy is just like doesn't give a shit. Maybe I should not give a shit and just
Mhm.
do it.
That's
what
the
I mean?
key.
I was
Actors,
super
that is the
off on
key
her.
to nailing a good audition. Stop giving
That
a
guy is
shit.
fearless.
You're psyching yourself out.
And that's a nice, yeah.
Actors psych themselves out before they even walk in the room. I see
This
them.
is
I
true.
watch them. They're so stressed out in the waiting room before they go into their auditions.
Yeah, it's mind-boggling, man. You're in there just like, because all you're thinking about is like, you're not going in. You know, somebody taught me right before I stopped acting,
Mm-hmm.
and they said a lot of people, when like say you have a role, let's say it's like a gangster role,
Mhm.
people go in and they think about the gangster movies they think about, so they try to act like Joe Pesci, they try to act like everybody.
Mhm.
So if you went in and you made it your own thing, even if you didn't get that role, the director will remember you for the next project and keep you in mind.
Yep.
That's the best thing you can do, but everybody just keeps coming in thinking they have to be the movie's
Stereotypical.
already seen.
They're always
Yeah.
way too big when they shouldn't be. They're always
Yeah.
way too small when they shouldn't be.
And I know that now as a director,
Mhm.
when I do auditions, I like it when I write something down and I think of a character in my mind when I write it down, and someone comes in and it isn't perfectly that character. They bring something else different that I wasn't thinking about to that character, and then I go, that's magic. Now you have a concept of what you want to do as an actor. You're falling in line with what I'm digging.
Mm-hmm.
Mesh together, and we're going to create something that's not premeditated so much. It's going to be more organic
Mm-hmm.
and fun, you know?
I agree. And so many of these actors go in there and all they're really thinking is, I have to nail this audition. I have to nail this audition. I need to book this job. And because that's what's on their mind, they're not going to do a good job. You're not going in there. You shouldn't be going in there to do that. You should be going in there to do what you do. You act.
Yeah.
So you go in there, you give your interpretation of the writing to the best of your abilities, and this is the time when you have an opportunity to perform in front of people, and that's honestly all an actor really wants to do.
Yeah.
But they psych themselves out because there is consequences to whether they do good or not. Just treat it as a live performance.
Yeah. Well, because a meal ticket instead of the art form, you know what I mean? Like you have to think like, I gotta get this audition.
Yeah. They
keep
see
my
those dollars
agent
at
or
the end
pay
of the
my
road.
rent. Yeah. But a lot of times, if you just kept, eye on the prize, and you go in and you just be yourself and you add what you want to the character and you nail it for you, and then you leave and you don't think about it, you leave it behind you and you move on to the next thing, you're gonna get a call from something you did 2 weeks ago that you forgot about.
Mm-hmm.
And you're already
That's how it happens.
You're ahead of the game,
My goal is to be as relaxed an actor as John Cusack. That guy does not give a shit. He's so relaxed when he's on camera.
I want to be the type of actor that goes to these auditions and thinks that, well, you know what? This is it. I'm done. This is my last one. I'm going to give it my all. And then you end up being like Chidi from what's it called? Whatever place. That was with your girl in it.
Which
Frozen
one?
Chick.
Frozen chick.
What is it?
Oh, The Good Place.
The Good Place. That's what it's
I didn't hear the
Uh,
name. Your audio was cracking up, so I didn't hear the name that you were talking about.
Oh, the guy who plays Chidi. He'd been doing it for so damn long that he was like, this is it. This is my last audition.
Mm-hmm.
And if I don't get it, then I'm just not meant to be an actor. And then he books one of the best shows of this decade.
Oh, that's like a real story?
Yeah.
Yeah. Or like
There's a lot of those.
telling me. Yeah, Smashy was telling me about the lady who plays the aunt on the Black Mixed-ish. She
Yeah,
said
same
that she
situation.
was no longer going to be doing acting anymore.
Dude,
she
her
went
car
out for
was
her
packed
last
up.
time.
I had a friend of mine who he used to be on a show, and he used to be friends with the guy. I think it's Hurley. He played Hurley on Lost. The
Hurley. I
Yeah.
love Lost. Yeah.
I never seen it.
Lost.
He was friends with him, and they go on auditions all the time. And he said that the last time he talked to him, before obviously he got huge, he was like, "Oh, what did you work on? Oh, I just did this audition for this show called Lost or something." He's like, "I don't know, and it's never gonna get picked up.
Nice.
It's gonna get canceled."
That's crazy.
Totally got picked up. One of the biggest shows of that city. And now he's on like Hawaii Five-0 or whatever, still making big money.
But you know why? I think that the reason why is that, every once in a while you get kind of like these people, like these J.J. Abrams and these like directors that come in, they actually really give a shit.
Mm-hmm.
And they really care about making a good show. And you, as an actor, you start to do these auditions and you see your friends get, a pilot or they get a show and it gets fucking canceled because it's not that good because the director probably just dials it in and just doing like vision or anything.
Nothing.
Or right team or like the right amount of people coming together and creating something amazing. And every once in a while you get that, and it's fucking magic. And if you're lucky to be involved, like you like win the lotto practically, you know?
Even this is what acting teachers need to tell their students.
Yeah, but even though you're talented, like these guys are all talented, but it's just like they got to link up with other talented people that were, you know, calling the shots and making the show good, and people were listening to them and letting them do it. That it's kind of still like winning the lotto, even if you are talented, to be around other talented people in that kind of atmosphere. It's like, you know, it's a light in the dark, you know, flash in the pan, like
it fizzles out real quick if you're not careful.
Yeah.
All right, can I give you guys a fun fact?
Sure.
I don't know. Are we still on What's His Face?
Oh, no, I'm ready to talk about our first character who we just talked about.
Okay, well, I want to throw in a fun fact real quick while we're in this. So, with this movie, Wedding Crashers, Congress complained about this movie, U.S. Congress.
Mm-hmm.
And this is because the studio's website was having printable Purple Hearts that you could print off of line so that you can impress girls and get free drinks.
Won't have to pay for a drink all night.
All night.
That makes sense.
Yeah, so Congress was not okay with this. They were like, hey, girl, knock that shit off. You're offending people who actually, you know,
serve their country and
serve their country. It saves some people and almost died their damn self. And you're sitting here having printable shit. So
no, don't get me wrong. It's funny.
It's
but
very
stop
funny.
It.
Knock it off. They're like, I get it. But stop.
Oh, while we're on the government, I got to give you a fun fact. So there's actually some real government officials in this movie.
There is.
You know,
Really?
So yeah, in the scene right before when Vince Vaughn has his little speech of maple syrup, he's like, "I love maple syrup. I love it on pancakes.
What do you think?
I love
Holding
it on
my hair
pizza."
up, slick.
Yeah,
My favorite. I love that.
the
one.
camera cuts to Christopher Walken greeting and glad handing guests, and the two guests that he's talking to is the Democratic advisor. What is his name? We talked about him already in Old School. The Ragin' Cajun, James Carville.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
We
James
talked about
Carville.
him in Old
He's
School?
in a lot
We
of
talked
movies.
about him in Old School. He was with Vince Vaughn in Old School. He did the debate.
He's in a
Oh,
lot
okay.
of movies, I think.
Yeah.
That guy shows up in a lot of films.
And the
Yeah.
guy standing next to him is none other than John McCain, our ran for president in 2008 against Obama.
McCain
Who
was in
has-
that?
who
McCain
has
is right
now passed
there.
away. Yeah.
Shut up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
This
As
is during
an-
that slow motion shot where they're doing a close up on Rachel McAdams looking all
Yeah.
gorgeous and shit.
You're not paying attention to those old men. You're looking at her.
Oh,
But yeah,
yeah.
as a teenager in 2005, I just thought they were extras, had no clue who they were.
Nope.
But going back and watching it this week, I did notice a lot of
Mm-hmm.
faces that I was like, look
They
at
just
me
grow up
knowing
so damn
politics.
fast now, don't they?
But yeah, that was a good one.
All right. So my first actor to talk about is an actress that we just talked about in our Wedding Singers episode. So we ain't going to talk too much about her, but we absolutely love her in this. It's Miss Ellen Albertini Dow.
I did not write anything about her because we did just
We
talk
went
about
in
it.
depth with her in our Wedding Singer episode. So she
Oh,
plays the grandma.
Dow?
She plays Grandma
Oh, yeah.
Mary Cleary.
Did she
She's the
pass,
rapping grandma
Mhm.
and the wedding singer.
she passed away in 2015.
Yep,
She did.
she did.
She had 30 years of teaching drama and dance under her belt before she retired and then started acting in the 80s.
What a
Uh-huh.
life.
Dude, she
Yeah.
was 72 years old before she booked her first acting job. That is crazy.
You know what's funny? I kind of think that that's going to be me.
I don't
I came
know,
out here-
man.
I
I
came
think
out
if you
here-
gave it a shot, like you're on projects all the time.
No, but I gave up acting, and I'm like, I feel like I'm going to be like 7 years old one day. I'm like, I want to get back into acting, and I'm not going to give a shit.
Yeah.
I'm going to shit on my diaper on camera. I'm going to get the roles.
You got to try that at least once in your life. It's actually really weird to do as a young man.
Yeah.
Put on a pair of Depends
Jason
for a day
would
and
know.
see what happens.
Well, it depends
Jason
on the
would know.
day. It depends on the day. Depends.
Oh my God. You guys are too much. But yeah, I mean, being an older person and getting in the game is something that's happened.
Mhm.
My whole life, I've known that Lucille Ball didn't become famous until she was in her 40s.
Yeah.
And that's when I Love Lucy started. The first season of I Love Lucy, she's 39. And
Really?
then she blows up after that. So knowing that story as a child, I've always used that as like my light. Like, it don't matter how old you are, you can still find your chance.
Yeah,
You
that's
know,
the thing
you-
about this industry
Right.
is you only get better as you get older.
And
As
they
an
need
actor, you
old
only get
people.
better. It's the only job where you get better as you get older.
Yeah.
And they don't have anybody. They don't have
Excuse me.
old people. You know, they don't not write scripts with old people in it. Old people are in a lot of damn things.
Especially
You know,
nowadays. Look at De Niro. He's
Yeah.
completely reinvented himself. I love The Intern.
But
I'm just gonna say that's him though. Who doesn't want to work with Robert De Niro?
Yeah.
I also think there's a lot of really talented actors, people that, like you said earlier, they get wrapped up in their head, and they're not bringing any of their like real original creativity to the table.
It's tough, man.
And then once they get to a certain age, they just don't give a shit anymore,
Mm-hmm.
and then they just go in and do it, and they're like
Yeah.
the guy from Old School that plays
Blue?
Community. What's his name? He was like a doctor.
Oh, Dr. Ken.
Yeah, he was
We
like
talked about him in Hangover.
Yeah,
He
yeah,
just
yeah.
did. He just went in not giving a shit, just being like having fun, and he
Yep.
just already was talented, and it's
Yeah.
just like
He was working at Kaiser at the time.
yeah,
And he stopped to do his acting. So
Yeah.
it's never too late. If
No,
we
it's
can
never too
inspire
late.
Anybody.
Fuck no. Just stay in town, apparently.
and I think most actors that actually, even if you were acting, say, since you were 20, and they don't get big till they're 35,
God, I wish I started when I was 20.
they still have work they've done and they've learned being in the process. But I think even them, they get to a certain point where they've seen it and they go, you know what? I'm not going to be pretending to be this. I'm going to bring my own thing to it. You start.
They say it takes 10
you
years.
you start believing in yourself more, and just rolling the dice on yourself.
Mm-hmm.
That what you can bring to the role, and as a director, I'm telling you, you pay attention to that shit. You
Oh,
see
yeah.
that and go, okay, I wasn't thinking of this role for this type of person, but something about this guy. I have people that I had on auditions that I asked to come back in future roles because they didn't work out for that role, but I was like, something about this person, I want to put them in.
Yeah,
like my
you want to
Rolodex.
work with the people because you know when you see an actor who is confident, who is reliable, who is relaxed, who is directable, who actually can take direction and interpret it properly and isn't like so self-conscious in their head in the audition room that they're not listening to what the director or the casting director is telling them. And then most actors will go into an audition, they have a way that they see the role, and maybe it's good, maybe it's not, and then they'll nail it, and then the casting director or the director or the producer will ask them to do it a different way, but they're so wrapped up in their head that they're not listening to what that person is telling them, and then they just do it the same way all over again.
Yeah. Have you both directed before, or I know you're gonna direct.
I've directed, yeah.
I've directed.
Mostly my own projects.
I bet you,
Yeah.
like, because you both acted before. I bet you once you actually had to cast people, you really saw. You probably learned a lot. I mean, at least I did, seeing other actors and actually being on the other side of the
Of the camera?
situation of the of the audition of the
Just
situation.
auditions,
Like,
yeah.
oh, you're auditioning for me. That you really you learned a lot about yourself of how you would approach an audition.
Absolutely.
Seeing someone else come in and audition for you,
Mm-hmm, for
really
sure.
opens your eyes. Like, oh, is that what I look like? Is that how I'm acting? You know?
Yeah, I found that a lot out when I had to cast things for other people. But before we move on, I just wanted to tell a quick story of something that I learned this week that I thought would inspire everybody. I was listening to this podcast called The Office Ladies.
I thought you were going to go
And-
with My Favorite Murder again.
No, this
That's
one is
your
not my
go-to.
favorite.
That's what my wife listens to. My favorite.
Does she? Is she a
loves that,
murderino?
yeah. She loves
I'm saving my favorite murder because there isn't
You
my
could be
favorite
best
murder
friends.
about this. Yes, I'm already ready to hang out with a girl. Okay, so this podcast called Office Ladies has two of the actual actresses from the TV show The Office,
Okay.
and they do episode by episode of The Office. Like, I think, Jason, actually, you should listen to this. You'd like it. I know you don't watch The Office, but it would just give you like the joy of learning, because what they do is they break down each episode and they tell you, fun things that happen on the set, how everybody kind of got put in, like, oh, I became a regular on this episode, or,
Okay.
most of the stuff was improv. But there is a character on there who plays Michael Scott's boss, who was originally an actor trying out for things forever and ever here in Hollywood and got nothing.
Yep.
And his
familiar.
girlfriend was like, hey, you know, we can't live off of you working here and there and you doing odds and ends. You're going to have to get a real job. So he went and he got a real job working as a stockbroker and made a bunch of money, got married, had kids. And he ran into a friend of his who was a casting agent. And she's like, are you still acting? He's like, no, man, I'm a stockbroker now. You know, I'm making money and taking care of my fam. And she's like, well, you know, if you still want to act, I'll keep your name in there if I ever find anything that's like, you know, really good for you.
That's crazy.
Cool. He's like, yeah, cool, whatever, you know, and he didn't think to hear anything back. But like a couple weeks later, she calls and she's like, I don't know how this happened, but I found a role for you playing you know, like a big corporate boss, which would fit with you being, you know, in real life, a corporate person. And the director or the showrunner loved that aspect of him. And he ran on like 32 episodes of The Office. And we saw him briefly last week in Bridesmaids. He plays Helen's husband. So this guy went from being an actor to stop being an actor to being a stockbroker to being an actor again, and now is working on shows and stuff like that. So even if you do change your career, if your passion and love is acting, I feel like it will always find you. So
yeah, it'll always lead back to it.
You know, that's an amazing story. Another amazing story, similar to what you're talking about, the kid from Bad News Bears. What was his? He came back and he did that film Little Children. First time back after like 20 years of acting, gets an Academy nomination.
No shit.
See?
Dude.
Yeah. What's his name?
Wait, Walter Matthau's Bad News Bears or Billy Bob?
Yeah. He played in Watchmen. He played the crazy guy.
Oh, really? Who was he in Bad News Bears? Tell me he was the kid that always got into fights.
He was a bad kid.
The one that always got into fights?
Yeah.
Oh, shit. I loved him.
Wait, are we talking about The Watchmen, the movie or the TV show?
The movie. He was Rorschach, the actor.
That Negan?
That's
Jackie
awesome.
Earl Harley.
That is awesome.
He was in Shutter Island. He played the new Freddy Krueger in the reboot that was terrible. He's a great actor though. But he didn't act for like 20 years. All of a sudden because his friend was the director of this movie, Little Children, decided to do it. He played a child molester in the film. And his role, but it was like the film actually made you have like empathy for this child molester.
Okay.
And he did such a great job. Got as a best supporting actor Academy nomination. His first time coming back after like 20 years of acting.
That's
not
awesome.
acting. And now he's like a huge actor again. He's like doing tons of stuff.
And that goes to show you that filmmakers do not forget people. Like, especially casting directors. If you do a good job, like you were saying earlier, they will remember you and they will call you back 4 years, 5 years down the line, 20 years down the line. They know what you're capable of. And
even it's like this might have been luck. I mean, because his friend was making the movie, he was friends with him. But I guarantee you, as a director, I would never hire a friend if they didn't fit the role. So he probably wrote a role and just went, "This is my
Jason
friend."
says that to me all the time, so you don't have to put me in the shit.
You got to be right for it.
Well, it's true.
I understand that. It is nothing personal
ever. It's just what fits. Like, you want to make the best thing, right? And whoever fits the role. And sometimes you might be surprised. Somebody might say, "Hey, I can do this. Let me try," and then they blow your mind, and you're like, "I was wrong."
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know?
I do believe that you should give your friends a chance to try. Don't just think that you know what
I
their
can at least
abilities
give
are.
them an audition.
Yeah.
You know, but I cannot guarantee a role.
Look, all I'm saying is, if I can't have the lead role, you better at least make me the coffee shop girl who'd be like, "Here's your large latte."
I made you the coffee shop. Oh no, I made you the singer, the lounge singer last time.
The lounge singer. You didn't make me the lounge singer. Yeah, dude. I did not know that was
That's
him.
awesome.
So he was the bad kid from Bad News Bears. Did that movie. I think he did a couple movies when he was a kid. Fell off the face of the planet in film.
He did such a good job, even as a kid.
Yeah.
He's my most memorable character.
I think he did like construction and shit. Like the guy he just did like he was like, "I give up."
A lot of people do. Joe Rogan did construction.
Yeah.
But
and he
anyway,
that role.
Let's
Semi-Pro. I just saw him in Semi-Pro. I was like, where have I just saw? I just watched Semi-Pro for March Madness, even though we didn't do it. I was watching it. But he plays a guy with Will Ferrell again, and he plays basketball and he has to shoot the hoop and he'd win like $10,000 or something like that. But Will Ferrell really didn't have the fucking money for it. But the guy shoots it and makes it. And he's like, I don't have the money to give you.
I have a confession. I love Will Ferrell, and basketball is my favorite sport ever.
Dude.
And I never saw semi-pro.
I've never seen it either. And
I
actually,
feel like you guys probably wouldn't like it, especially Jason. I don't think you would like it.
I don't think I would like it, but also I have a friend that was in that movie, and sadly, he passed away shortly after that movie came out, and he was only about 26, 27 at the time. And so I haven't really wanted to watch that movie since that happened.
I can understand that.
But anyway.
Can we move on to this movie?
Yeah, let's talk about this next character. I'm sorry. Not to... Please tell me the cap is on that, Robin.
Yeah, I can swig, right? You want to swig?
Oh my God.
You want to swig?
I got my Sailor Jerry's here, which is one of my favorites.
I'll take something with you guys.
We should swig.
We'll do one. We're gonna do one. All right. I'm getting the brandy apparently because it was the closest one.
Cheers it.
Cheers, you guys.
Social distancing.
Social distancing. Alcohol kills coronavirus.
Or at least it kills my liver.
I'm ready for karaoke now. Ooh.
I know, it feels all warm going now.
Yeah. All right, so the next character we got to talk about is Mr. Ron Canada, I think is how you pronounce his name.
Oh, he's the butler.
Or Ron Canada. Yeah, he's the butler. Yeah. Randolph.
Yeah,
I'm watching my stories, man.
I love that dude. Okay, what was he in?
A lot.
Because I remember I saw that movie and I was like, this dude has been in a ton of stuff I've seen like in the 90s and I didn't know his name.
He wasn't a lot of stuff in the 90s. He did a lot of TV before this, as well as after this. Like when he gets on a TV show, it's usually like he doesn't do 1 or 2 episodes. He'll do a season of something, 2 seasons of something. You know?
What was the main show he was on?
He was on The Shield. He did National Treasure right before this. He was on my favorite boxing movie, arguably of all time, Cinderella Man, right before he did this movie.
He is in that. You're right. You're right.
So he's one of James Braddock's trainers. Right during this time, he was on The West Wing.
He was on The West Wing.
He played Theodore Barrow on The West Wing from 2003 through 2006.
Yeah, I think that's what I remember from was The West Wing.
Yeah,
I mean,
I've done
seen
like
him
National
for
Treasure,
many
all kinds of stuff. He was on Weeds for like a number of times. Boston Legal.
He was on Weeds.
My dude
for
is
a
a journeyman actor. He just keeps going. Matter of fact,
he was on Weeds. You're right. I was like, who was he? He played this Muslim dude who was trying to date this other. He has a distinctive voice and look. He's been working since like the 80s. This dude has been everywhere. You've seen him. You really have.
Mm-hmm. I like him when he's yelling at Vince Vaughn. You banging the daughter and the grandma?
And the grandma? How much jam you got, man?
I never got into Weeds.
Nah, me neither.
Oh. But he gets into weed. I'm Joey. The sooner we finish this, the sooner I can go smoke. So let's do this.
Dude.
Hey, if you post that, just don't tag my father in it.
Sounds good.
My parents. I do have to work tomorrow, so let's get this cracking.
All right. Well, he's recently been doing the Orville with Seth MacFarlane for the last 3 years, and he's got 2 movies coming out. One's called The Empty Man, and the other one is called This has got to be a Kinjiku?
The Empty Man.
Sounds foreign. I'm not sure what that one's called. But either way, I'm going to tell you a story that's going to upset you, Zenobia. So yesterday,
What was that?
we were talking to somebody, and I told Ashley, like, we ain't got nothing to do tonight. Let's take some edibles and watch a comedy or something. She said no. So what's going to happen is we're going to take some edibles on Saturday before we call Moses for his birthday, and it's going to get weird. I'm assuming that you're on that phone call, so I just wanted to forewarn you.
I thought the phone call was happening at midnight. You got an hour, girl, before they all in there drinking.
Oh, shit, really?
Yeah.
Well, they're doing 2 of them then, because they're doing one tomorrow also.
Well, I'll call him tomorrow and drink with him. Send me the link.
What kind of edibles are you guys taking? Because edibles, I just want to fall asleep.
She gave me some
pass
shit
out.
that I haven't really touched since because
Me?
yes, you. First time I tried an edible was a chocolate coin that she gave me that she told me to cut into fourths. So I did
I'm tired of hearing
so.
this goddamn story, motherfucker.
I'm trying to wrap it up
I'm
quick.
sorry.
I
That
just
sounds, that sounds like shrooms.
Robin, I didn't get off the couch for about 6 hours. I physically could not get off the couch. So
Yeah, I
the
mean,
coin
do
turned out
shit.
to be 120 milligrams. So technically I took somewhere around 30 milligrams, my first time ever. And I hadn't smoked weed since
dude.
1999.
That's bad.
I'm sorry. I
That's
forgot
a
to see
lot.
how many grams were on there. Okay? I'm sorry.
That's a-
I
It's
was-
fine. Since then, I actually do enjoy them quite a bit.
See? He has had fun.
For another day, I will tell you a story about not knowing how many grams and being on a plane and thinking that you were sitting next to Satan.
There's someone on the wing.
Yeah,
There's
that's
someone
what-
turning butter on the ring. She's wearing old garments.
no joke.
Okay.
I had a Twilight Zone. Like it was
Oh
scary.
my God.
Okay,
Right.
well, you'll definitely be back when we do
We'll save that one.
420 month. You can come back for
Have
some of our
baked?
pothead movies.
We already did have baked.
baked. I'm sorry.
Oh,
I did
you're
have
cool.
baked.
You're cool. Fuck it.
Fuck you.
I'm out.
You're cool. I'm out.
I did the opposite where everybody's cool except for one guy I hate. That's usually what life is
Fuck
like.
you.
You're cool. You're cool. You're cool. Fuck you. You're cool. I'm out.
Nice.
I'm out.
I do
Phil
like that.
Patty.
So
Okay.
we got to talk about Mr. Keir O'Donnell, who plays Todd. He might be my favorite character in the whole movie.
He's so good.
So
He
fucking
does do a
good.
really good job in this movie.
Would that make you happy, Dad?
Would that make you love me? Wouldn't kill
Would
me
it
make you
make you love
to
me?
play some physical sport once in a while.
He plays that weird emo kid from the 2000s that we all know. He's the tortured artist whose
Uh-huh.
conservative family don't understand him. I think that he did an excellent job.
He did
Now,
a
do you-
fantastic job.
Do you know who might have had this role if it wasn't for him?
Yes, I
getting
do.
this
But
role?
go on with it.
Wait, can I guess?
Go ahead, guess.
Yep.
Jake Gyllenhaal. Jake Gyllenhaal.
I'm so glad you messed up his name though.
Jake Gyllenhaal.
Jake Gyllenhaal. I do feel like they would have asked
They
him.
would have
because
considered him maybe.
They would have considered him.
No,
Good.
If
but
this show shows me anything, it tells me that, the people that they consider for the movies are usually the same handful of people. Like, how many times did they look for a
it's who
black guy?
knows you.
Yeah, they're like, oh, we need a black guy to be in this movie. Let's see what Denzel or Wesley Snipes are doing. Or, oh, we need some young bad boy. Let's see what, Emilio Estevez or Charlie Sheen is doing. Like, they use the same dudes over and over. all
Are they the
time.
young bad boys?
At least Charlie Sheen is.
Mm-hmm.
We hear about him a lot. Him
I
and
mean,
Tom Cruise.
I do
Yeah.
love Young Guns, and Estevez
I
was
feel-
a bad boy in that, you might say.
I feel like Charlie Sheen, Tom Cruise, Denzel Washington, and Tom Hanks are always in the running for every role ever in these movies that we
Wait,
do.
wait.
You know what I'm talking about, Jason.
Wait.
Every time
I mean,
I'm
they're
like,
in the role
Wait.
for a role.
You're talking
for a role.
Denzel, Tom Hanks, Charlie Sheen.
Charlie Sheen?
And Tom Cruise. They're always on a list when I do like who
I mean, Charlie
Robin,
Sheen has since blown
Tom
up his
Cruise.
ship.
Tom
yeah,
Cruise.
his ship is gone. It sucks. But
Denzel, Tom Hanks are like
Yeah. Tom Cruise is right there. Will Smith is right there. Brad
Denzel
Pitt is
over
right
me.
there.
Denzel and Tom Hanks can never do anything wrong.
what I'm saying is that in the 2 years of us doing this show, there's
Uh-huh.
always a list of people who they're considering for a role.
That's
And
very
the people
true.
The people that I named are always on that list. Now,
Mhm.
Denzel is not always on the list for the white people, but if they ever need a black guy, it's him and Wesley Snipes that are on that list.
hmm
Yeah.
This is what
Why
I'm
is it
saying.
always
It's-
Wesley Snipes?
Because those are the only two, especially in the 90s and 2000s. that-
Yeah, we do a
Him
lot of
and Will
90s
Smith.
and 2000s movies. We don't.
So
yeah.
those ones, yeah, those are who we're looking for. Like we did Cool Runnings, and they literally pulled out every black person under the sun to play
They
these
did.
roles.
They wanted Marlon
William
Wayans for Cool
Witt.
Runnings.
They want
They
to
wanted Denzel
Marlon
Washington, Wesley Snipes, These
Oh,
people
shit.
were on the list for Cool Runnings. That's what I'm saying. They just
Really?
pulled numbers. Yeah.
All right. Well, tell us who almost got the job of Todd in Wedding Crashers.
Justin Long, who I love.
Yes.
I love that guy. I wish he would get more work.
Oh. Yeah, he would have been good.
So
He
he was
would've
just
been-
coming off of Dodgeball with Vince Vaughn,
He did
which
a
is
good-
how he had
He
the
was so
inside
funny.
track for this movie.
Yeah.
So he
does
did
good-
that, and he came in for the audition, but
Uh-huh.
he did Todd a little different than what we see today. Todd was more of a Buffalo Bills
Yeah.
from Silence of the Lambs kind of voice. Would you fuck me? I'd fuck you. Like, you know, that kind of shit.
But
So-
that's funnier though. That's funny.
It is.
But they
But
still
it-
liked him. They wanted
did.
him.
Would you
But also
fuck
he
me?
was doing Waiting at the time.
Which I'm glad he did. 'cause
Or
that
was
a
it
great
Waiting or
movie.
was it Accepted?
Either one? I love both of those movies.
I think
Wait.
I enjoy both of those movies.
yeah.
But because there was a delay, they started looking for other people.
Wait, so you think that like Wedding Crasher, you know, the casting people are like, hey, Justin Long, we want you to play this role, and he's like, you know what, I'm waiting on this movie called Waiting.
Nice. Well, he was
They're
already
like, what are you waiting for?
they were already slated to do it. I think they were already in pre-production or something like that. But somehow he waited a day too long. I was listening to
Oh.
Armchair Expert like I do,
He's an
and I
armchair
heard him tell this
expert.
story, and he called Vince Vaughn up and asked him if they're like still considering him or this, that, and the other. And he's like, "Oh man, I wish you would have called me like 3 hours ago. They just cast this guy named Keir O'Donnell.
And he did a great job.
He did a great
amen.
fucking job."
And
He did a
him and
great fucking job.
Justin Long end up being friends in real life. So
Uh-huh. Like Justin Long was like kind of upset about the whole thing and like didn't want to meet him, but he met him at like a comedy show or an improv show or something like that. And yeah, they became best friends afterwards.
That's funny.
so it was all good.
Mm-hmm. But
I-
Keir
I-
O'Donnell did
first-
a great fucking job. I love him in this movie.
First Justin Long movie I ever saw was Jeepers Creepers, and
Me
I had
too.
I had no idea that he was going to be such a funny dude.
I love Jeepers Creepers. That scared the shit out of me. That was a good one.
It's a good movie. You like horror movies.
Love them. You can come back in October if you like.
You
Horror
take my
movies.
spot in October.
You can take, yeah.
You know
You
how
little pussy.
this is the shit I draw. I'm a horror fan.
Ooh.
Oh my god. Okay.
Oh, I got to
Have
show
you
you
ever made a
his
horror movie
short
about
film
I
that he
make
did
shit-
with his
that's
dog.
What I do. That's what I do. My first feature film that we didn't talk about, but it's all good. The feature film that I made because I can't make a horror film for no money, so I made like a comedy drama. But everything I want to do, I'm really a genre filmmaker. I love horror films, sci-fi films, but I like to sprinkle humor and heart in there. But
Mhm.
I love
This is why we need to hook up because I have always wanted to be in a horror movie. It's one of my favorite genres. I know so much about it.
So
October is
good.
my fucking favorite month. You got to come back in October. At least listen
Halloween.
to some of us. Yeah, please. I
That's
make this fool do it because I love Halloween movies so much. And there is a part of me, prior to the show, because the show does take up so much of my time, you guys.
So much
but-
time.
But in October, prior to the show, I would try to watch 31 scary movies in the month of October, which I
Oh
would
hell
do.
yeah!
And I did that for a smooth 9 years. And out of
Yeah.
those 9 years, at least 6 of them, I got to 31 movies. So
Damn.
I
This is what
love
I'm
these
hoping.
scary movies.
This is what I'm hoping. Can we do like a Halloween? Can I come back for Halloween at some point?
Yes.
And actually, we're not doing this. We're like hanging out.
No, this
Yeah,
will not happen.
absolutely.
that would be.
Yeah. I will
amazing.
make you a drink. Yeah.
That would
Robert,
be
once
amazing.
Corona's over, we normally like hang out before, we have dinner together before, we relax, and then we dive into all of this, and it's so much nicer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
I mean, I'm having a great time.
Yeah, this is
I'm
fun.
glad. I'm on my third daiquiri, matter of fact.
I'm starting to sweat. Look, I'm starting to sweat over here.
What were you eating over there?
Okay.
Me?
Yeah, you had like a. Was it
Oh,
like
I
a-
was
a lime
I was
or
eating the lime pill. Yeah. I was
Ooh.
eating
I just thought like you're keeping like this.
So Keir O'Donnell has still consistently been working, and the last thing I saw him in was American Sniper.
Yes.
He played Jeff Kyle in that one. But even afterwards, he did this TV show called Legion. He did through 1 or 2 seasons on Ray Donovan. He did Drunk History. He did an episode of
that's my show.
Drunk History.
I
guys,
love drunk
My
history.
goal is for this podcast to blow up big enough that I could be on Drunk History. I already tell Drunk History every week. I'd be so ready for that.
That'd
That'd be
fun.
great.
We've been training for this for like 2 years now. And he's
Yeah.
got a movie coming out that's in post-production right now called The Dry. Hey, there's my brother. What's happening?
Stop it by. This
Hey.
is Robin.
Robin, my brother-in-law Rashad. Rashad,
Nice to meet
Robin.
you.
What's up?
Now
Yeah,
get on out of here
yeah.
before all the kids come in.
No, they sleep.
They sleep? Then make the man a daiquiri.
Okay. I'm just checking. All right. So continue.
It is time to talk about one of our lovely ladies of this movie, Miss Jane Seymour.
Okay.
She is so great in this movie. This was my first introduction to her, but my girl has been working since 1969.
Oh, you talking about what's her name? Medicine.
Dr. Quinn, medicine
Dr.
woman.
Quinn,
man.
medicine woman.
What? What are you talking about?
Dr. Quinn?
Dr. Quinn,
Dr.
medicine
Quinn,
woman.
medicine woman?
Oh, she's
What
a medicine
is that?
woman.
It was a TV show. She was like a medicine woman in like the Wild West. It
Oh,
lasted from 93 to 98, so it did have a long run.
okay.
Jason. It's kind
That's
of like
the first
already.
thing I've ever seen.
You kind of already got everything, Jason, in the title. Dr. Quinn,
Quinn,
medicine woman.
medicine woman.
I see the cover and it looks like a Little House on the Prairie situation.
Yeah, it's like that time period. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Except Little House on the Prairie was all about the fucking man. This is like the woman is killing it. Fuck the man. Dr. Quinn, medicine woman, fuck you.
Nice.
Yeah, that's the first thing I ever saw her in. So that's what I always think of her as Dr.
I've
Quinn.
never
Medicine
seen
woman.
nor heard of this show.
It's a big
Never
show,
heard
man.
of it? Wow, it was a big show. It was.
I mean, it was during the 90s. You know where I was in the 90s.
Okay, I'll give you that.
There's some Pope folk in the world.
It was on regular channel. It was no cable.
Okay.
Well, you know what's crazy? It was crazy when I watched the movie Wedding Crashers for the first time. I was like, oh, that's Dr. Quinn, medicine woman.
Mhm.
And then when she did the whole sexual thing, I didn't know what to think because as a
It
kid,
is.
I knew her as like this loving, like she's like this angel
Dr.
doctor that
Quinn.
helps everyone. And I'm like,
Helps
she's doing
everyone.
her boot. Like, what is happening? It's like seeing your
Dude.
mom naked for the first time. Like, this feels off.
But she's gorgeous, dude. At
No,
this,
she's absolutely gorgeous.
absolutely gorgeous, and she has now created this character for herself that she gets to play in other roles, like How I Met Your Mother. She plays Jason Segel's professor in the Cougar
and
episode. Barney's got to sleep with her and make her happy so that he'll get an A.
That's right.
Yeah, and he keeps going back because he's trying to get that A.
I
Yeah.
love that shit.
Wait, so, you guys like How I Met Your Mother?
Oh, that's my show.
We love it. That's our
That-
show.
That's my show.
I think it might be my favorite sitcom of all time.
Arguably,
It's up there. It's up there.
Robin,
I
we're
would say
quickly
Fresh
becoming
Prince.
best friends.
Like Friends,
Yep.
How I Met Your Mother.
Now
I do-
he.
Then I'd be like Fresh Prince, How I Met Your Mother, probably Fresh Prince.
Fresh Prince all day, man.
As far as like a comedy, like a sitcom, I think Fresh Prince is my favorite comedy of all time.
Zenobia, the funny part is your face froze on my screen, and all it is this angry snarl. You're just like,
How dare you talk shit about Fresh Prince?
I'm not
I
talking
love-
shit on
I
Fresh
love
Prince.
I love Fresh Prince.
We talked about this earlier.
I got married. My socks were Fresh Prince socks. My name, like my wife, her nickname's Jazzy Jen. We met on our first date. We met because we started like kind of just bonding over stuff. But as soon as she said, "Oh, I love Fresh Prince," I watched it as a kid in my whole life. I'm like, "Shut the fuck up!" And then we made out, and then now we're married.
Nice.
That's like my true love story. That's all I want is a guy to be like, I love Fresh Prince, and I make out and I get married.
It's some of the best. We were actually just watching because of the whole coronavirus thing. Where we watched the episode where he's just stuck in with the what's her name? The
Oh,
actress.
with
She's like,
Lisa.
Gina!
Yeah, he's like, anything else you want to give? He's just like, here, knock yourself out.
And he's like, ah, that's so gross.
You guys
Yeah.
remember the lyrics to what he
Terrible.
sings there?
Stuck in the
Oh, yeah, I'm
basement.
Stuck in the
Yeah.
basement,
Yeah.
sitting on a tricycle, girl getting on my
On my
nerves.
nerves.
Going out of my mind, I thought she
Doesn't
was
seem
fine.
what's
Don't
fine,
know if her
don't
body
if
is
her body
hers.
hers. Everything was wrong. I love that show.
Trying to get Jen to come up.
Jazzy Jen?
Yeah, have her come say hi.
We were just watching that like literally 2 days ago.
That's a
love
great
that
episode. So,
but yeah, she does a great job.
yes, she does.
She does play the hot older lady, Kitty Cat.
Mm-hmm.
Call me Cat. Call me Kitty Cat. I did enjoy being her last week. That was fun.
That'll air on Instagram soon. I haven't posted it yet.
Oh yeah, so you guys do the scene for the next
movie. Yeah.
Yeah.
So then we posted on Instagram to give the audience an idea to try and figure out what movie we're going to talk about.
I love you guys' show, man. No joke. It's
Thank
so
you.
fun.
It's
so
a
fun.
lot of fun. So
But she, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
She got called for this role 3 times. They kept calling her like, "Hey, girl, we need you to play Kitty Cat."
mhm.
She's like, I don't know. And they did a lot of auditions of women in their 50s and 60s that could pass for, Miss Cleary.
I read that they auditioned like some very prominent women
Very
of this
prominent.
age
Michelle
bracket.
Pfeiffer?
Of that age range.
Probably.
And they said they did everybody who was like a sexy older lady.
Mm-hmm.
They called them in, but they really just wanted her. They just really wanted her, and they kept calling her. And by the 3rd time, she finally was like, "Fine," and she auditioned for them, and they loved it, and she got it.
Yeah.
Which I think she did a fantastic job.
I think this was the
very
role that
believable.
introduced her to
To you, yeah.
not just to me, but to watchers in general, but also reinvented herself. Because actors go through certain stages, and depending on their casting, they play a specific character. Like it also did the same thing for Bradley Cooper. Before he did this movie, he was the nice guy in like what was it, Felicity or something like that. He was on
Here's
Wet
the
Hot
thing.
American Summer. He was a
I
nice
didn't know
guy
this
up
until
until
this movie.
this movie. And then
I didn't know
after
him
he did
until this.
after he did this movie, that's when everybody in Hollywood's like, "Oh,
I didn't know-
Bradley Cooper,
I
he's an
know that.
asshole, right? Yeah, bring him in."
I only knew him. I knew Bradley Cooper before Wedding Crashers because my friend was on. He was his name is what's his name? I haven't talked to him for so long, but he was on Heroes and he was on Alias. And I want to say Alias, like Cooper had a role. They became
Yeah,
friends.
Bradley Cooper.
Yeah,
He was
they
in
became
Alias.
friends. Yeah, they became friends from Alias. And so I was like, "Oh, who's this guy?" And then I saw him on Wedding Crashers. I was like, "Oh, he's like an actor I've seen around." He was like kind of whatever.
Yeah, he was virtually unknown until he did this, and then all of a sudden just
He is now like
skyrocketed.
Yeah.
People who know me know that he is like my go-to white boy. If I had like a white boy celebrity, it's
Really?
Bradley Cooper. Yeah, I love him.
I will say, I just finally saw. I wanted to see it. And I finally saw.
Stars
The-
Born.
A Star Is
Yeah.
Born.
Man,
I think he did a great job.
he did it.
He breaks my heart.
They all did an amazing. That movie is like the Passion of the Christ, where like it was
Oh my
amazingly done.
God.
I never want to see it again.
Mm-hmm.
I never
Well,
want to see
don't.
it again.
Watch all the other ones. There's about 3 more that are the same exact stories before that one. Watch
Yeah.
that. At least give you a nice
No, I know. It's just so
round
sad.
view of what they are. Yeah.
It's really
It's
sad.
So sad.
It's
Like
good.
all I can think of is like when Brad Cooper said that he's just like, we have to make sure that this soundtrack is banging because no one's ever gonna watch this movie again because it's too much.
Mhm.
But let's make the soundtrack amazing because like the whole time I was like, this is the only thing that's making me happy right now is how great these songs are.
Yeah.
That's the key of that movie.
Yeah.
You know who
Any
did impress me in
any
that
generation-
movie?
Out.
Andrew Dice Clay impressed me in that movie.
Yes.
He did, dude.
He did a
He's so-
I
damn
didn't
good
expect to
job.
see that full.
Everyone did such a great job in that film.
Mhm.
So good.
Yeah,
And of
that
course-
movie only works with the great soundtrack. And
Yeah.
all the previous ones had great soundtracks, had great female leads and male lead to pull those off. So if you follow your history, that movie was going to be good as long as you had a big celebrity female artist like Lady Gaga or Barbara Streisand or Judy Garland,
Judy Garland.
to pull this up together, and you already have your draw, and you just need a cool dude to back them up and the amazing songs.
But like Lady
In
Gaga.
20 years, they'll be remaking that movie in 20 years. Like
Mhm.
that's
Seems
But I
like
mean, the whole-
every
the whole
20 to
time-
25 years.
But the whole time I'm watching that film and I was like, holy shit, like Cooper's so great in this and Lady Gaga's blowing my mind, right? She's like,
and he directed it.
but then you realize he directed it and you went, why did he not get more admiration for this movie? Because he did like everything. But she's so good too.
It's his
like,
directorial debut.
That's a good director because he picked the right roles where it's like he's like
It's a built-in story.
overshadowed.
You
Like
know?
it's
Yeah.
not about him. It's about making a good movie.
Yeah.
But they all did. The whole film is fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
But I never want to watch it again. I'll listen to the music, but I can't watch it again. It's too devastating. It's just sad, man.
It does break
You make
you
me
up
want
a
to
little bit.
rewatch it because it's been a minute since I've seen it.
It's
You're right,
too
the
much.
songs are bangers.
Well, since we're
My
talking
God.
about Bradley Cooper, actually, before we talk about Bradley Cooper, what's your favorite line from Jane Seymour in this movie?
Ooh, that's a good one.
Just her asking for another scotch.
Will somebody give me another scotch, for Christ's sake?
For Christ's sake.
You-
She doesn't want to be in that horrible place with her horrible husband who, hasn't fucked her in a decade. And, you don't give a shit. She don't want to be there. I
Okay.
do say that you're right. It did change her status as an actor because unlike you, me and Robin knew her as this kind, sweet Dr. Quinn medicine woman. And then all of a sudden it was titties and
Reinvented.
drinking. Yeah. And you're
For
like,
me, I have to say it might just be her, like, because it was so kind of weird. Her just being like,
Kitty cat.
something about her delivery with that was just really like, what?
Perfect.
Like, I'm scared and I'm also aroused.
Uh-huh.
yeah, that's what you want. When
I'd
you're
say-
a cougar.
My favorite line of hers in this movie is before this, when they're on the field, and she tells Owen Wilson, "You should have played in your underwear.
She's so dirty.
It's hot
She
out
don't
here."
even give a shit.
Yeah,
Well,
she's-
Hot,
she's-
Doesn't she say that and he just goes, what? And she just walks away. Like,
yeah, she's like, "I'll get you a drink."
There's no answer.
She's like, "I'm just gonna leave you with that."
Bye.
She does a fantastic job. I
She's
love her.
playing
You're
cat
right.
and mouse with him. Only difference is she's the cat, he's the mouse,
Yeah.
and he hasn't figured that out yet.
He's
Yeah,
a,
well, damn,
very
her
tall
name was
mouse.
Kitty Cat.
Mm-hmm.
he's a very tall mouse that wants to have a maple syrup conglomerate.
Mm-hmm.
Put it on his-
Conglomerate.
Let's do
All
a
right.
maple. That's my favorite part when he goes, "Let's do a maple syrup conglomerate," like the way he says it.
Conglomerate.
I don't even know
Vince
anything
Vaughn is
about
my
maple
hands
syrup.
down favorite. He's the best in this movie. If
Vince
without
Vaughn?
Vince Vaughn, I wouldn't care. Yeah, I really wouldn't care about this movie without him. His lines, his delivery on things,
Yeah, it's so
how
good.
bad you feel about
I
him.
wish that I could
It's-
talk as fast as he does.
What do you think? I hold my hair back, Slick.
Right?
Yeah,
Just
but
put it
Go
in
get in
my
the
hair.
fucking closet.
But that scene is so perfect because Owen Wilson's lines too are so good. Where he's just like, "Grow up, Peter Pan, Count Chocula."
Huh. Rather be pimps from Oakland or cowboys from Arizona, but it's not Halloween.
Arizona. It's not Halloween.
We've come to the weddings and we've rocked them all.
Oh, you know that's a direct reference to Bon Jovi.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because and what song is
You've
that?
seen a million faces.
I'm a cowboy.
And
On a
we rocked
steel
them all.
horse I ride.
Right.
So in there, there's a lyric.
All right.
I've seen a million faces and I've rocked them all.
Oh yeah,
That's where you got that one from.
that's the worst. That's so lame.
It is pretty lame line.
It's so lame. I love it.
Cause I wanted.
Dude, I wish the
Yeah.
80s rock style would come back. I love that era.
Wait, hit that note. Hit that. Cause I want
Wanted.
it. Hit that note.
Get over line. I can't hit that. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
you guys are the singers. I'm not even going to try.
Get
All right,
up.
so let's move on. Let's talk about Bradley Cooper real quick because we've already.
We can
talked
talk about
him
Bradley Cooper real quick.
in The
since
Hangover.
We've talked
We
about
already
him.
discussed him. We just discussed his director debut
Mm-hmm.
and how fine he is. I want to sit on his place. I want to love him. I would like to meet him. I'll even take him with his little Jerry curl in the what was
American Hustle?
the American Hustle. I'll take that, Bradley Cooper. I don't care. He's
With the
gorgeous.
silk shirt and everything?
All right, so
Everything.
we need to talk about this infatuation that you have with Bradley Cooper. We need to talk about this, okay?
Okay, go ahead.
Because this is starting to trickle into our lives.
Ooh, okay.
We're having an intervention right now.
No.
What happened with Bradley Cooper? What? Show me on the doll.
She
Oh.
touched me
On the
here
doll.
and here.
I cannot cut this out.
What was the movie? What was the movie or what was the time? Because there's always like that moment in a film where it's like, what was it that made you go, "Oh, I fucked Bradley Cooper"? This guy.
That's true. When did that happen?
I need to know.
I'm gonna say shortly after this movie. What did he do after Wedding Singers? There's got to be something.
He didn't do
besides-
Wedding
Oh.
Singers. He did Wedding
I
Crashers.
I mean,
No, but the movie that really
Yeah.
kind of made me go, "This guy's dope." Besides Hangover, was where he takes a pill, Limitless.
yeah.
Limitless was a good
That
one.
one was impressive. That showed off his acting ability.
And he produced it. And I think he might have directed that too.
No.
Or he wrote it or something.
A Star Is Born is his directorial debut.
Yeah.
But he was involved with Limitless though. He like wrote it.
I will say that I did have a semi crush on him in Alias. He does have a semi big part in that.
Yeah, he was
the
on
first
there for
season.
like 4 or 5 seasons.
Seeing him on this, I did not like him. I was like, what? When did you get all become a douchebaggy? But
Sex
everything
and the City
he did,
too.
he is in Sex and the City, and all the things that he did after this just slowly made me just fall for him. He's cute. He's a good actor. He can play a douchebag. He can play a good guy. He can play the underdog. He's just great at that.
He's a great
just good
actor.
at that.
And also a little snippet, if you know, because we're talking about full circle again, back to the actor studio. I think it's De Niro. I could be wrong. It's either De Niro or it's Pacino.
It's De Niro.
You know what I'm talking about?
I know what you're talking about.
He's in the audience, asked the question.
Mm-hmm. So he was a student
tape.
at Pace University in the actor studio program.
It's pretty cool.
He's straight 90s. He's got this like horizontal striped shirt on. He's got the hair down to here, just the golden locks.
Wait, so you're saying that Bradley Cooper was in the actor studio asking Robert De Niro a question?
As a student, yes.
Like full on, like
he was famous. Oh my
this
god!
is Bradley Cooper. Like this is Bradley Cooper. Like in the audience, he's just like.
Was it a good question at least?
Here's the mic.
It was. It was a very intelligent question.
Here's the mic, and he's just like, "Hi, I love you.
That would be me.
I'm Bradley Cooper. I'm going to be a huge star, but you don't know that yet. Can I ask you a question?"
Really? He said that?
That's literally what it looks like.
Mm-hmm.
He is so enamored, and you're like, you have no idea this guy's going to be like a huge star, and it's just like, I want to learn from you.
That's because
he always just wanted to get better.
Yeah.
I do believe any great actor or filmmaker is enamored by Robert De Niro, who can make you cry, who can make you piss your pants, who can make you laugh. It's something hard to do. Where everybody and their mama you can ask anybody and you'd be like, have you seen a Robert De Niro movie? And they'd be like, yeah, I've seen Meet the Parents, or I've seen Goodfellas, or I've seen Raging Bull. It doesn't matter what genre you have seen of Robert De Niro. Everybody has seen Robert De Niro.
Okay.
So everyone loves him.
Zenobia, question for you.
Answer.
Because I know you have it. Give me an underrated Robert De Niro movie and an overrated Robert De Niro movie.
Ooh.
I think Analyze
everybody.
I think Analyze this, whatever the second one, was overrated.
Analyze that.
Sorry. That. You know, I like my part two. That one was overrated. His underrated movie, I would have to say, would be Cape Fear. I don't feel like enough people talk about how amazing this dude is. Where'd he go? Robin.
I think you hit the nail on the head.
I'm hugging you through the screen because you know your shit, and holy crap, that's the most underrated Robert De Niro movie ever. Thank you for saying that. Oh my god, we're best friends.
I won. We're best friends.
Should I make the bunk bed right now?
Yep. Did we just become best friends right now?
What?
Yep.
What? I'm blown. My mind's blown.
Yeah.
It's so underrated. It's so underrated. He's so creepy and scary in that movie.
When he dies, I don't think it'll be on his role of like movies, which it should, because he's the worst, creepiest, grossest.
And it's actually underrated. It's an underrated Scorsese film.
I also agree with that too.
If you look at the direction,
nobody talks about that.
Yeah,
the directing of that is so like De Palma meets Hitchcock. He really took like Hitchcock, De Palma's like film style, but it's so well done. Like the shots and the music and the way that it's so good. Cape Fear was very underrated.
I'm sure he called De Palma constantly when he was making that movie because they pretty much grew up together, or as far as like they were like went to school together. They all came up during that same time.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to choose my Robert De Niro movies only for the interest of time because we're approaching 3 hours.
Let's do this.
Is that a bad thing or is that a good thing?
It's a good thing. I just got to edit all this shit.
Hey, I gotta wake up early in the morning. I have to go to no work. I'm on unemployment. Oh yeah, pandemic. Fuck my life. Sorry.
Well, I have to go to work tomorrow at 8:30, so let's get this shit cracking.
It's early. 8:30.
Hey, good for you. Good for you.
You're working from home. You got to roll over and put on your BK Lounge headset.
I do.
We're just being jealous over here. We're just jealous.
I am a little jealous. Well, I would like to go to work right now.
All I'm saying is the last time that I did this show and had to work the next day, I was hungover. So I'm trying not to do that.
All right. Well, Bradley Cooper, we love him. He's still playing Rocket. He's got Guardians of the Galaxy 3 in pre-production right now. It's supposed to come out next year.
Love it.
But with the way things are getting pushed back, who knows?
Nothing's coming out ever.
On that note, we got to talk about Secretary Cleary for a moment.
Okay,
the
time out.
great Mr. Christopher Walken.
Okay, well, fine. Let's go to Christopher Walken. Let's do it. Let's do it. Gloves are off.
I love him. Mic drop. Enough said.
I'm gonna pick that up, and
That's
I'm gonna
all
say,
I have to say about Christopher Walken. It's not all I have to say.
That's
But damn
good.
it, do I love this man.
Yeah, I need more.
I cannot
impression.
pick my favorite role he's ever done.
I might say True Romance. I
Oh,
really
yeah.
enjoyed him in that movie.
Mm-hmm.
That scene is one of the greatest scenes in film
Yeah,
history.
he's only had one scene, but it's
It's
a
him and
good-ass
Dennis
scene.
Hopper. It's a fucking amazing
so
scene.
good. It's so
I already mentioned that I do love him in Catch Me If You Can, but probably the sweetest role of his that I love is Hairspray, where he plays the dad.
He
a
does
great
play
job
the
in
dad. I like him as Morty in Click.
oh,
He
yeah.
is the dude who gives him the click.
Yeah. I'm
Um,
an angel. I'm the angel
Click?
of death.
Click. Do you watch Click thinking that you were gonna cry as much as you did?
No! God damn it!
I thought I was gonna watch like a Happy Gilmore movie, and I'm
It was
like bawling my eyes
hilarious
out.
for like the first 20 minutes, and then it just very rapidly breaks your fucking
Once
heart.
when his dad Winkler
Your
gets
kid's
in there,
girl.
Henry Winkler dies,
And
dude.
Henry
and I
Winkler
couldn't
dies.
take it.
he keeps rewinding him, and then he kisses. I'm just like,
I know. That movie was way.
Ugh.
Adam Sandler got us. We
Adam
weren't ready
Sandler
for
got
it,
us
but
so
he
good
got
on that
us.
one.
I thought it was gonna be like Happy Gilmore, and it turned to like Field of the Dreams, like real quick.
Yeah, real quick.
So
Um,
I have to say, one of the things I love about Christopher Walken is I love when somebody gives him a fucking monologue to do.
Yeah,
I mean, I
that's true.
don't know if they give him a monologue or he's just like, hey, I'm just gonna say all this shit.
Well,
Like he's
It's like
a
three
few
lines.
times in recent
It
memory
just
they
is
do.
a-
Like in Pulp Fiction, he has a monologue. He's the
Yeah.
what is his name? Keen or Coots or something like that?
I don't
Where
know
he's
what it is.
talking to
He sounds-
young Bruce Willis, and he's
got
talking
the
about
watch up his
I wore
ass.
this uncomfortable hunk of metal up my
Uncomfortable
ass
piece
for
of metal
3
up my
years.
ass. Yep.
I'd be
3
damned
years.
if any.
This has been up my ass. Yeah, it's that's a great
It's your
scene.
father's watch.
But you might be right. He
And-
you could take a line, like you could have one sentence.
Mhm.
It'd be like, I went to the grocery store,
Mhm.
and he'd be like, I went to the grocery store.
The store.
And think about how long that takes.
Yeah.
It's like a whole monologue, and
Yeah.
it's just one sentence.
He must drive editors crazy though.
I'm
Hey,
sure. He would drive
So-
me crazy as an editor.
Robin,
Definitely.
you've seen Pool Hall Junkies. That's another thing that I'm like referencing at this moment. When he and Mars Callahan are in the bathroom and Mars is feeling like he can't finish this game, then Christopher Walken walks in and he tells him this story about lions being the king of the jungle.
You know,
He goes through the whole thing.
It's been so many. Actually, you brought this up tonight earlier, and I have to see the movie again because
it's
it's been
so good.
so long. But I remember I saw it. I think I grabbed it like from like the library. Like I was so broke at the time that all I could get was like the library card where you get movies, and I got that
Mhm.
film because it was in Studio City where they had like all the best films if you had a library card.
Nice.
And I saw that movie, and that was like 10 years ago, so I haven't seen it in so long. But now I want to watch it again.
Ah, okay.
Now you're
Walken
talking-
goes through this whole monologue about how lions don't get up until they absolutely have to. You know, the hyenas come over and they're starting trouble, picking at his food, nipping at his heels. The lionesses come over, the zebras come over, the rhinos come drinking his water, and
Yeah.
the lion just stays there until one day the lion finally decides that he doesn't want to take it anymore, and he gets up and he rips the shit out of everybody.
Yeah.
And then he just looks Mars Callahan in the eye and he's like, "Don't beat him. Kick
He's
his
like-
ass."
He's like kind of the king of metaphors. Like they put him in films for metaphors. But I mean, if
I believe that.
if you want to talk about like Christopher Walken before he was like the metaphor guy, as
Mhm.
far as like films that he was in, that he was just like fucking just a great actor, was The Dead Zone
I don't think I've
And-
seen that
Okay.
and Deer Hunter.
one. Oh, yeah.
Deer Hunter. Yeah, definitely.
Phenomenal.
hmm
Deer Hunter.
Okay. So I'm gonna get into a little bit of things about Christopher Walken. I'm
Okay.
doing this for your mom, Jason, because I know she would like us to talk about this.
Oh, here we go.
Um,
Mama, you're
And
welcome.
also, Robin, for your wife, who's a murderino. So recently, this past week, my favorite podcast, My Favorite Murder, did a murder on Natalie Wood.
Uh-oh, here we go.
I know
I
all
don't
about
know
it.
if you.
Yep.
I know all
I don't
about
know
it.
if you. I don't
Tell
know
the
if you guys
people.
know who they are. Natalie Wood was this amazing actress that you would definitely
Maria.
recognize from West Side Story or
Just
Rebel
met
Without a
girl
Cause
named Maria.
or America on 34th Street. These are like her big bangers that she did. But she was a big time star,
Mhm.
and her husband Robert Wagner went on a yacht together. That's how I feel about him too. Robert Wagner went on a yacht together with Christopher Walken and the captain of the boat, and somehow Natalie Wood, who is terrified of water, especially dark water, got drowned off of the side of this yacht off of Catalina Island,
Mhm.
and she died. So the only people on the ship was the captain, her husband Robert Redford, and Christopher Walken. Now,
Robert
Christopher
Wagner.
Robert Wagner. What did I say?
Redford.
Redford. You're incriminating motherfuckers over here.
Let's not incriminate Robert
I'm sorry.
Redford.
You were right. Robert Redford's shit. Zenobia has been drinking a lot, so bear with me. But yeah, those are the only people that were on the ship that knows what happened. And Christopher Walken doesn't still to this day talk about it. He
Mhm.
doesn't say anything about it at all, and just kind of leaves it in the past, which makes me think that he knows more than what he's saying. Not that I don't love Christopher Walken, because I do, like I just mentioned, all the movies that we've seen him in and that we enjoy him in. Even Saturday Night Live, more cowbell, you know. I'm all about him, but it does give me that nice question mark above his head when it comes to dealing with Natalie Wood. And if you want to know more about that whole situation, listen to My Favorite Murder. And they do have a whole episode on that one. So yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely an interesting story. I mean, I have theories about it, but no one will ever know unless they were on that boat.
Nope.
I will say this though: all the theories that I've heard or I think are possible, especially now with the way that Christopher Walken is, because he's a great actor, but I don't think he's like a bad dude. I think he's kind of was like a bystander in all of it. Even if like shit went awry or whatever, I don't think he had anything to do with like hurting her or anything. I think
I don't say that. I don't think he had anything to do. Oh yeah, no, like
if anybody's he wasn't helping Wagner kill. So I think he would just happen to be, because I think he was invited on the
boat.
Trip.
Yeah,
there's a lot of rumors.
Yeah,
I would say
it could have been
that
one of those things where he's like maybe it was an accident or whatever it was, but they were like,
I don't know.
Get involved, then your whole career is over.
Yeah,
and he didn't want to do like, let's forget about it. But I mean, she wasn't, from what I read too, like, she I think she did like drugs and drank a lot. Like there could have been a fight. She felt, whether he pushed her over or she fell on her own, who knows? But I don't think Walken was malicious.
I don't think he had a hand in it, you might say.
This is why I definitely don't believe he had a hand in it, because as recent as I think it's 2017, they reopened this case.
Mm-hmm.
And when they reopened this case, Robert Wagner was the only person of interest. So that's why I don't think that Christopher Walken had anything to do with it other than him being there. But Robert needs to answer some motherfucking question.
But you also think he's got...
I want to know what happened to my girl.
Christopher Walken, he might have tons of shit to say, but he has a publicist who's like, you can't say shit.
Yeah.
So...
If anything, if he's smart, he'll write a letter that won't be released until his death. That's what I would do.
Maybe, yeah.
I'd be like, release this once I'm dead.
It's a sad story because like she needs it needs justice. Like
for sure.
Like for real. But I don't know. I could be wrong. Maybe Christopher Walken is a psycho and he just kills people on boats. I don't know.
Oh well, come here, Daddy. Come on. Hold on.
What's going on? Hey, Mr. Bracey, how we doing?
How you doing?
Hey guys, this is my dad. This is Robin. He's our guest. Everybody, this is my dad that I'm always talking about. This is him.
This is the first time that your dad has ever been on this podcast.
Wait, why aren't you? Come on, you gotta be.
He don't have to quarantine. He with me. We quarantining for the rest of the world. We fine today in the house.
Mr.
But yeah. I don't think that he had anything to do with it.
Ask him when he's going to be on an episode.
You want to be on an episode soon, Daddy?
I've been asking.
I don't know.
He said he'll see. I I'll ask him when he's really drunk or something. And they'll be like, Daddy, come on the show.
Wait, don't you have some more daiquiri left?
I got a little bit of daiquiri left.
No, I'm done.
Get him on the show now.
All right.
It's empty.
What is? No, never mind. I'm not even going to get into it because that's going to take us somewhere else. So it's time to talk about our 4 leads of the movie, beginning with the lovely Miss Isla. How do you say Isla Fisher?
Isla Fisher. Yeah.
Isla Fisher. Is that how you say her name?
That's how I say it.
So
yeah,
like we were saying, this is the movie that brought her to the public's eye.
it was the first thing I ever saw her in. Yeah.
Yeah.
Me too.
She did have a TV series called Home and Away back in the 90s. She did a small role on that from 94 to 97. Before that, she did a show called Paradise Beach. And she was in Oliver Twist in 1999.
Okay.
But yeah, nobody really knew her until she did Wedding Crashers. After this
I'll
movie,
find
she
you.
just fucking exploded.
Wait, were any of those other films like comedies at all? Like, was she giving any comedic?
I don't think so. I think it was
Performances?
mostly like they were hiring her because she was sexy or because she was a good actress and she could do drama. Most of
Yeah.
the stuff that I'm seeing on her work history is dramatic until Wedding Crashers.
Because she's actually she has a small role in the new Curb Your Enthusiasm season, and
Does
she's
she?
really funny.
Nice.
She's a funny act. She's a
great.
great comedic actress. Yeah.
Yeah. I remember seeing her shortly after this in Definitely Maybe with Ryan Reynolds. I was like,
That
oh
was a
my
good-
God, I love her.
That was a great movie.
Uh-huh.
Great movie. I was surprised by that. I was like, I watched that and I was actually surprised how much I liked it.
Yeah, I thought it was really good. And I want, when things didn't work out between her and Ryan Reynolds in that movie, I was kind of pissed off. I was like, oh, that's kind of the girl that he should have ended up with.
That's why I liked it though.
And then it
it was realistic.
turns itself on its head.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
All right, Robin, you got to go.
I love her.
All right, I'll
I
leave.
think she
No,
does
this
a good
Robin.
job.
Get in.
I'm Robin.
I'm outta here.
Situation.
You know, you asked me to be on this show and then told me to leave.
I'm sorry.
I'm gonna go to my living room where I already live.
She does a great job in this movie.
Mhm.
She's funny and cute and crazy. She, like you said, blows up after this, and we see
Mhm.
her in this and that and that and this.
Catch Me If You Can. I thought she was really
Catch
good in
Me
that.
If You
You know what I
Can.
liked her in recently?
Now You See Me.
Nah, you don't.
What?
Oh, I was going to say, I love her in Tag. She plays Ed Helms' wife in Tag,
Wife.
and she's fucking hilarious.
She just wants to be part of the crew.
She just wants
so
to be
bad.
part of the game.
She does.
So bad.
She's like,
Wait, wait.
I've been in this.
Wait, we're talking about Isla Fisher. So,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
She was in Catch Me If You Can.
No, see, Now You See Me.
Now you see me, now you don't.
Oh, I thought you said Catch Me If You Can. I was just like, I was trying to.
I may have been a slip of the tongue.
I was actually
But
hoping that
I
was
meant
hoping
Now
that you
You
were
See
right,
Me.
and I was actually hoping that I was going to learn something new tonight. I was like, she was in that movie. I didn't know.
Oh, my bad.
All the fun facts I've been dropping on you, you didn't learn nothing new yet?
I love learning new things.
Okay.
It excites me.
Well, she did a great job. She blew up after this movie.
She absolutely did.
I love her. She's insanely perfect for Vince Vaughn's character because they're
Mhm.
just. I love where he's like, I think that we should go to the next step, and she's like,
I'm so ready to go to the next step.
Oh my God, I'm so ready. Like, what about
Right.
that girl that we met? Like
Those Brazilians we met at the ball game.
Well, okay. He's like, I was thinking like, we can marry. She's like, oh, like, she's
She like
awesome.
flips it on its head. But the Brazilians were very nice. You know,
They
that's,
were. I
that's
mean,
an idea. Let's
I think they should
consider
still
that.
do that. I think they should still consider that and get married. Have a threesome with the Brazilians and get married.
But see, I think that could be a really good. You were talking about like, you know, obviously, Wedding Crashers 2 is coming out. That could be a really good storyline to like talk about. Like they're married now. She still wants to get kinky. He's kind of like, hey, I'm married now. There's like some friction there. That could
There
be
could
a whole
be.
story.
There's got to be situations between each couple.
Yeah.
Well, I
Or you
think
never
that'd
know.
be
It's
great.
like you never know if Rachel McAdams and Owen Wilson actually did end up together or not.
That's true. They don't get married.
It's
so
only
we don't know.
suggested. He doesn't ask her to marry him. He just
doesn't want
asks her not to
to
marry
not marry
him.
Zach.
Maybe
That's
take
his
a
real
walk.
name,
That's
Zach.
actually a great plot line. What you could say is that they got married, didn't work out, but they're friends. They have kids together.
Plus,
That
they're
would be
best
awesome.
friends
And
their
then they
sister
decide to still hit up some weddings to re-emphasize it's okay to be married or some shit. Like how some weird kind of.
Mm-hmm.
I can see this working. Okay, one, I'm so good at coming up with these part 2 scripts.
Dude, we came up with the next Friday, last Friday. It was such a good
After
premise.
the next Friday.
The last Friday.
After.
I was on point on that one.
Well, this
By
one's
the
got to
way-
be the last one
By
because
the way, the Friday
John
after next is
Witherspoon.
still one of my favorite, like the Christmas.
Oh,
Friday.
we did
Yeah, we
that
did
one
that
just
one during
past
Christmas
Christmas.
time.
I fucking love that movie so much.
What they could do, because at the end of Wedding Crashers 2, at the end of Wedding Crashers, they all get in a car together and they make up a fake story of where they're going to go and do to be Wedding Crashers.
Okay.
I like your whole tip on her being like too kinky for Vince Vaughn, where she's still crashing weddings looking for somebody for them to be with. And he's just like, why are we crashing these weddings now? Like, we had our own wedding,
That's
you know,
good.
Rick Road. I think it would be good. Either way, I'm going to watch Wedding Crashers 2. I haven't seen Vince Vaughn in a minute, so I'm excited.
Yeah.
As long as he's back on there.
What is the last thing that I saw him in?
It's been a minute.
Vince Vaughn?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, dude. Vince
Like he's
Vaughn,
doing stuff constantly.
Vince Vaughn is becoming a dramatic actor.
Ah.
You need to watch this movie. It's called shit. He goes to he's so good in it. I was blown away. I was like, Vince Vaughn is becoming like a ridiculously good actor. He
Mhm.
did this film where he goes to he plays like this really like Brawl in Cell Block 99. Watch
Ooh.
that.
Okay.
Watch that
Okay.
movie.
I got
He's
you.
like on another level.
The last
Okay.
thing I remember seeing him in was Couples Retreat, which I absolutely love.
Well, this
That's
is him
been a
not
long
being
time.
funny.
Yeah.
This is Vince
But
Vaughn being
yeah.
a very large
I like them not being.
man.
Yeah, he's
That, like-
6'5". He's freaking
that, like-
huge.
Kills people. And he's fucking great, man.
Nice. Oh,
might
no.
be
You know
fucking
what?
huge.
He's in that new movie on Netflix. Fighting with My Family. The one with The Rock.
Oh, he's in that movie?
Yeah, he plays the
I've already
wrestling
seen
coach.
that. Is that pretty good?
I can't say yes, but I've only seen about the first 30 minutes. I don't remember why,
I
but
love
It's
that.
on
couldn't
Netflix
finish it.
already?
It's on Netflix.
I love the
Okay,
director
okay.
and the writer of that. And I love the actress. She's in Midsommar. She's great.
Okay.
Shit.
And I love Nick Frost.
See, you can come back and do Midsummer.
Yeah.
I don't know what that is.
Good
I'm
movie.
assuming it's a
You
horror
never
movie.
seen Midsummer?
Is it another horror movie?
Oh, yeah.
That's
It's
why
a
I haven't
good
seen
one.
it.
Good one.
So as much as
Wait.
Zenobia loves horror, I am the reciprocal of that.
Okay,
hates it.
but let me explain something to you. Midsummer, it's a horror film, but you have to go into the movie knowing that it's really a horror film based off of a really bad relationship that's breaking up. It's a
Yeah.
metaphor for a bad relationship that two people are leaving each other in the setting of a horror film.
I
Okay.
think that you should give it a chance. It's not as scary as you think, but it's more
I mean,
like
if you pick it for the
mental fuck.
podcast, I'm gonna watch it. But I watch
You got
about 4 scary movies a year, and
It's
that's in
emotionally
October.
scary. It's emotionally scary more than it's like
emotions.
jump scares.
I faced my fears the first year of this podcast
You
when
sure
we
did.
did October, and I said, you know what? I'm gonna watch the movie that created the fear in me for scary movies in the first place. So I saw Freddy Krueger when I was 4 years old, because I'm the youngest of 5, and my siblings were watching it in the living room. Meanwhile, I'm terrified listening and slightly watching it from the hallway, hugging the wall, because I don't want to go to my room, because when you're 4 years old, Freddy Krueger is in that room.
Yeah.
And I also don't want to go in there and watch the full movie either. So the safest spot for me is in the door jamb of the hallway.
Dude, I get you, man. I was the same, like the same exact feeling. Like I would be in my room and I would think he's in my, but the next day, the weird thing is like, I want to see the movie again. That's what's
Yeah.
weird. It's like a roller coaster. You either like a roller coaster or you don't.
Oh, not me. I watched Insidious. I looked in my
I
rearview
love
mirror in my
roller
back
coasters.
seat for a month.
All right, I get what you're saying. I don't make you watch them
That's just me.
outside of October. I should throw them in once in a while, but I don't.
Me and Zenobia are gonna watch a bunch of horror films. So you could be
We
out.
sure are. You're out. Okay, I got a fun fact
I'll
for
get
you.
high
I'm
and
just
watch
gonna-
one with you guys.
Ah,
Or is that a
yeah!
bad idea? That might be a worse idea.
That actually probably
Have you
would
seen
be.
Have you seen Get Out?
Yes.
Oh, we did that one last October. Yep.
Did you
Oh
like
no, we
it?
did.
I loved it. Yeah.
Get Out. Yeah.
So then you like horror films then?
That's a thriller more than a horror.
Nah, it's a very well done horror film.
Oh, it's amazingly well done.
It gives you
I do want to
everything.
say
It gives
that
you
I
everything.
made up the best sunken place tea
Oh
for
yeah.
that episode,
We drank
It
a
was
sunken
good.
place tea for that episode. It was
Did you
really
see
good.
Us?
and I made it up.
Us.
I haven't seen
I
Us
loved
yet.
us.
I don't know how to. It's like I think it's too deep for me. I didn't get it fully.
Okay, we need to talk about it and break it down.
I don't hate it though. I like it, but I think
I love it.
there's a lot of plot holes though that I think I need to come to terms with.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean,
I
the
will
plot
say
holes,
that
but I'll take
Vince
that
Vaughn
with
is doing a untitled body swap thriller next.
Who?
Vince Vaughn. He's going to do a
He's doing-
thriller after this.
Oh, yeah. Well,
I mean, I understand
he's
that.
been getting into,
He did
into
Psycho.
dramatic acting.
He did Psycho?
Yeah,
He
Ah.
was in a whole season of True Detective. The guy is getting
yeah, that too.
fully into dramatic acting now.
I
But
love
he
it.
did do Psycho, played Norman Bates back in the 90s.
Yeah.
It's the worst version of that movie, but he was in it.
You know
Okay.
why it was the worst version? Because Vince Von Sant, what was his name? Vince Vaughn, the director. He did. It's Vince Vaughn.
I can't remember who.
I don't remember.
He did the remake shot by shot.
They did shot by
I
shot.
hate when they do
it
that.
He
really-
just copied.
there is some other things that
Hitchcock.
are at it, but for the most part, it is shot for shot.
He
Yeah.
should have done his own thing.
Yeah. If you know exactly
Alright.
what's going to happen shot for shot next, it's. Anyway,
But
I'm not
Okay,
going to get
so-
into it because it's only going to make me mad.
I'm not going to talk about it. I'm going to go here, recharge my batteries, because I like to eat
We'll
alone.
get back to neutral.
Uh,
But let's
okay,
focus on
so
the
I gotta-
podcast. Let's get to the next
me
actor.
finish.
Well, let's close
Let
some
me
ass.
finish. Let me give you a fucking fun fact before you move the fuck on. I got a whole notebook.
We're
of
not
this shit
moving on. I'm
you're gonna
quoting
look
the
at.
movie.
Wait, hold
I
on.
know, I know.
You missed it.
How many daiquiris, how many whackeries have been drinking tonight?
I've had 3 in a shot.
It was there.
I've lost count.
I don't know. On this set for this movie, there was a real wedding planner that was on set to make the weddings look and feel authentic.
Thank God.
So there you go. There's a little
That's
fun
that
fact
art
about that.
department life. I hate
Yep.
it when they don't pay attention to a certain aspect. It usually is set design or
Yeah.
production design. I can't remember. Babe, which one's higher, production design or she's passed out.
She sleep.
Never mind.
I mean, I would think production design,
I think yeah, it is production design. That's
Production
the
is a set. Yeah.
depending on the film, I would think.
hmm
Like if you're doing a period piece, I mean, they're both involved, but like, I mean, I can shoot it. If you get a place that's like still intact that was around in the 40s, you could just all you got to worry about is the wardrobe because it's technically a
Yeah.
apartment or whatever that was still So I would think
Speaking-
that,
Find a nice apartment in downtown with some exposed brick. You're good.
exactly, man. I mean, shit. I wrote a short film that I was like, I can shoot out here as long as I could cheat it. It could be set in the 1930s. I said, don't show a car,
Mhm.
or I composite a car in there and just take like a still shot, put a car in there. It's 1920s.
Yeah, especially nowadays with what you can do with
Yeah.
VFX, it's insane.
It's incredible.
Absolutely
So,
insane.
Speaking of
It's dates.
the set,
hmm
the house that the Clearys live in is an old ass house that's from I think like the early 1900s.
Oof.
It was at one point owned by the DuPont family, who, if you guys don't know who they are one of the richest families in.
DuPont?
Yeah, they're like a Rockefeller type of family.
Ah,
DuPont also is.
I know
part
they
of
make
a-
good carpet.
Fox. What is it called? Fox Farm.
Catcher.
Foxcatcher.
I was right.
Foxcatcher-
Oh,
You
yeah.
were right. Fox, you are.
I was
just
trying
threw
to
it out
you
there.
said the name, and I was
You were
trying
so
to
right.
remember what you're talking about. I was trying to remember what it was.
So
Yes.
Foxcatcher is a movie that is based on one of the DuPonts who
Okay.
Yeah.
killed, one of somebody
Mark
on
Ruffalo.
his wrestling. Yes.
They
coach
killed
of
Mark
the wrestling
Ruffalo.
team.
The documentary is better than the movie.
The
Mm.
documentary is so amazing. I love
Documentary's
docs.
really good.
I love docs, and that's a good one. I believe it's on Netflix.
Yeah, it's on
But
Netflix.
it is a good one about the DuPont family. That how basically they had so much money that your job in the family could just be giving money to charity. Like that would be my job, is to be like,
Jesus.
how much money can I give to charity? Okay, cool. I'm gonna pick this charity, this charity, this charity. They just have so much money.
Jesus.
So
or
that
if you're
house,
into wrestling, you could just hire a whole bunch of guys that are good wrestlers to come to your place and wrestle with you and pretend that you're going to win and do weird shit and then murder them.
And then
Or you
murder
could do
them.
that. Or you could do that.
So Foxcatcher is based on a true story. Go watch that one. The DuPonts are fucking nuts. But
Jesus.
that family did own that house at one point that we do see as the main house for
Oh, so that was the house in the movie was their house. It actually was the DuPont's home at one point. Wow.
at one point.
Wow. Maryland
Okay.
Maryland does football and crab cakes and murder apparently.
And murder.
And murder. Yeah. So
All right,
that was a
before we
fun
move
fact
on
for
from Vince Vaughn, what is your favorite Vince Vaughn line in this movie?
Ooh.
you motorboater? You motorboater son of a bitch. I do have a Vince Vaughn
Can you do
fact.
what he does, though?
Are
That's pretty
they
good.
built for comfort or are they built for speed? Mine are built for comfort. I don't know. Vince Vaughn, in real life,
hmm
he did keep
Oh, that's right.
that painting
Yeah,
that
he
Todd
did.
paints
Yes. The painting was a
He's like,
gift, Todd. I'm taking it with me.
for him. I want my painting back. No, you're not getting it back. bitch.
You know what's crazy? Like before I did this podcast with you guys, I was like, they know their shit about movies, and I haven't seen this film in a long time. And I love learning about movies, and I was looking it up, and I was seeing all this like trivia that you're bringing up now. But I already knew this like when the movie came out because I'm such an IMDb freak.
Yeah.
hmm
It all came back to me. I was like, oh yeah, I forgot that he owns that painting still. Like,
Literally, I'm doing for everyone what I've been doing for myself for many years.
Yeah.
I'm just going into deeper depth than it.
yeah.
But if I'm into an actor or a movie, I do read a bunch of stuff about them. That's just kind of how I've always been. And I just want to share this with everybody. That's why I wanted to do the shows. So
It's cool.
I got to go to the
girl.
deep,
It's-
deep interwebs in order to find fun facts and stuff that Zenobia hasn't already found.
Because I'll be in there. I'll be.
I'll contact my guy in Bangladesh once in a while, and he's like, no. She already knows that one.
She knows that one. I'm sorry. I don't know what to tell you. But Vince Vaughn does a great job. I love him. I want to see more of him. I would like to see more comedy. Not that I don't like his dramas. He is doing a good job on the dramas. But I just look forward to his fast talking.
I love his rants.
Calming stuff. Yeah. So
That's what
him
made him
and,
famous.
Mhm.
yeah, him
Right.
and Owen Wilson, they improv the lock it up. No, you lock it up.
Yeah, they did.
Lock
Well,
it up. You lock it up. That's improv. That's
here's
them.
something that you don't know that I forgot to mention. They rehearsed before this movie for about 3 or 4 weeks playing ping pong. So they were improving with each other while they were playing ping pong back and forth.
That
Owen
makes a
Wilson
lot
and
of
Vince
sense.
Vaughn.
I like that. Ooh,
That makes a
girl.
lot of sense because you have to be creating dialogue while thinking of something. It's fast talking. It's
Mhm.
very that's kind of it makes sense. That's a good.
That was a good fun fact. I didn't know
I'm
that
gonna
one.
use
that.
Thank you.
Jason fades back.
Yeah.
Got
Got it.
All right. Well, you want to talk about our hero or our heroine of the movie?
We could talk about the heroine because we've already talked about her.
Oh, that's right. In Mean Girls. What else? is-
Okay, that. And I was thinking of what's the Christmas one we did with her?
Oh yeah, huh. the Family Stone.
Family Stone. So we did have already talked about her.
Yeah, Miss Rachel McAdams.
Rachel
Yeah.
McAdams.
Just a
Beautiful
personal
woman.
thing. I think her in this movie is where I see her like most attractive. I don't know why, but as a brunette, I think she looks absolutely gorgeous.
This is the
I like
movie
her better
fell
as
in
a
love with.
brunette.
Yeah,
This is a movie I didn't know who the hell. Well, I saw. What was that Notebook? that
I've seen the
everybody-
Notebook before this.
Yeah, I was like, okay, it's a good love story. I just didn't really think of her, but like something about the scene in Wedding Crashers where they're playing football
Uh huh.
and she's like she has a smile like I don't like you, I'm not gonna get you, and I was just like I love this girl
Yeah, she has this
It's
like
something
adorable
about that
personality
scene.
to her.
because
in
she was
this
like
movie.
being a dude. She was being like another guy. She's just like I'm just playing around, but she was cute and she had her smile, and I was just like, okay, I'm in love with Rachel McAdams.
You know what else I think it is though? I think one, they chose this dark brown for her hair. to contrast with her skin tone as well as her eyes. And I think they bumped up the saturation on her shots
Maybe.
just to increase that contrast a little bit more. Because her
I mean,
eyes absolutely
her smile.
sparkle in this movie.
Her smile is what got me in that scene.
Yeah.
Her smile is what, and it kind of reminded me of the time, my love of my whole life. The love of my life. The love.
Your wife?
The love of not my wife, but
Sriracha.
she knows that. The love of my life. I was the same age, was Natalie Portman in this film called Beautiful Girls. If you've ever seen it, we were the same age. She was like 13. I was 13. I saw this film. I was 13, and she was 13, and she was seducing like a fucking 25-year-old dude, which was weird.
Oh my
But I'm
God.
13, and I'm watching her, and I'm like, "You are my girlfriend. I want you to be my girlfriend." Like,
You are my girlfriend.
yeah, right. Like she had this smile. It's her smile, man. That's her personality.
It
the
is.
smile that just grabs me. It's like you see all the beauty. You're like, oh, this is somebody I could talk to.
Mm-hmm.
This isn't just a pretty face. This is somebody I can actually have fun with and talk to with.
I feel you. Because I do like Rachel. I think that it took me a long time to like her because she blew up with The Notebook and everybody.
She
was
had like a string of movies back to back.
I didn't
From
like her in the
Notebook.
Notebook. I hated her.
I
in the
didn't
Notebook.
like. I did not
I
like
liked
her
her.
in The Notebook.
I didn't like her at all in the Notebook.
I loved her in Mean Girls. That's probably my first thing where I was like, I love this bitch.
Mhm. And those came
we
out the
did
same
that.
year.
They did. Family Stone, like we already previously talked about. I do like that as a Christmas movie. She plays the bratty sister that probably reflects more of me out of all the siblings than anybody else. I love her. But like you said, I love her with warmer, darker hair. I don't really like her as a blonde. I think she did a great job in this. And one thing that I did learn two things that I did not know about her. A song to help her cry that she listens to anytime that she's on set and she has to cry
Mm-hmm.
is Fleetwood Mac's Landslide, which is one of my favorite Fleetwood Mac songs. So I can understand because it is an emotional song. But Owen Wilson said that she would play that song before doing the scenes, emotional scenes, and just would bust out crying.
Yeah.
And he'd be like, are you okay? So I did like that about her.
Mhm.
I also found out that because she did this movie, she went out and got a certificate in sailing for this movie.
Yep.
So this woman can sail, she can handle a 26-foot boat by herself because she got her certificate. She learned all of the sailing jargon that a
Wow.
rich, socialite would know, I guess.
Sailor.
And
Good
she
man.
could be
Take a
Sailor.
seat.
They both like sailing and the color green like his eyes and money. Like her speech is the worst.
Yeah. Sadly, she doesn't get to be funny in this one. She's
Not funny,
just
no.
the object of Owen Wilson's affection. Not
Yeah.
just, but she is the she's the, what's the word I'm trying to find? She's the character that doesn't get any of the punchlines.
She's a catalyst.
Yeah.
She's the
So like
character that
you
can
think
catalyze-
of
bring somebody to another
Road
level.
Trip and the character that actually is on the road trip for a reason. He's the one that doesn't get to be funny. Sean William Scott gets
Yeah.
all the punchlines.
That's honestly the one thing I have against this film.
What's that?
They don't make her funny. They just make
Yeah.
her an object.
Yeah.
Well, they-
but she
well,
has
they-
a sense of humor. Like
I don't
she
think they-
likes the jokes that are being told.
I don't think they make her an object. I think that they didn't flesh out her character enough.
Mhm.
I think if they fleshed out her character a little bit more and his character a little bit more, instead of just all the jokes, it would have been I think it would have been a more well-received film. But
Sure.
the jokes are so good
Yeah.
that it
Actually-
just was a strong film.
There is one moment where she is absolutely hilarious, and it's because she's laughing. When they're when they're doing their fucking vows and everything
Yeah.
is in nautical terms.
Will you be my first mate?
She's dying. She's like hiding behind her flowers.
Well, that's
because
perfect-
everything they're saying is sexual.
So ridiculous.
To be my first mate.
But that's a perfect example of honestly, I feel like it becomes a little bit of lazy writing. Is that the first time you're introduced to her, she's got a sense of humor.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like you already know that Owen Wilson and Vince Vaughn are funny, right? They're the whole movie. But you see that first scene and she's got a sense of humor.
Mhm.
And then all of a sudden it's like, oh, I'm a girl. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just a girl and I'm trapped between, and there's no sense of humor anymore.
Yeah.
And it's like that you fall over there from that first moment and then you follow her, but it's like she has no character development. You don't see her sense
She's
of humor.
trapped in this like corner where like
Yeah.
the men in
And
her
fact,
lives are making
at the
her
end-
decisions.
At the end of the film is the only time you see it again where she's like, now I'm free. Let's fucking do some crazy shit. You're like, oh, now she's back to the girl I saw at the beginning that was laughing at the. But the whole thing in between was like, I'm married. I'm engaged, and I don't know how I feel, and I'm being dramatic, and da da da.
Yeah.
It was like, I wish I saw more of like her humor that I caught from the beginning.
Okay, so we talked about this in Wedding Singers. I don't believe that they write women in comedies well at all, unless
at all.
you have a
Mhm.
female writer write it, because again, like in this movie, both of the leading women in this movie are seen as objects or sexual beings. They
Yeah.
don't have a story of their own. Gloria, do you know anything about Gloria? Why does she lie that she says that she's a virgin? Why is she so sexually charged and she doesn't care? You know, like
She just
they
thought
don't-
that that's what guys wanted to hear.
that's what they wanted to hear. And so they don't flesh these characters out in the least. They're
Mm.
literally there as ass or candy for the male people. And this movie is a big example of that because,
Yeah.
like you said, Rachel's
Yeah.
character is not fleshed out. You don't know why she's sitting there with Sack. Why the hell you with Bradley Cooper's dumbass? Everybody from day one look at this guy and like, why are you with this guy?
Yeah.
You're not even that type
Yeah.
of vain woman to even be with him. So like we don't even get to know fullness about them because it's not about the females. They don't care about, you know, what they really want. It's about what these men want.
It's because they do it by the numbers, though. Zenobi, they do it by the numbers. So like the movie,
I know.
the movie follows the two guys, and
I
they're
understand
going,
that.
and they're going around and they're going to weddings and they're hooking up
Yeah.
with girls. So they need the audience to stick with the guys.
Mhm.
No, I get that. I get
So-
that.
so-
But
so-
if you
but
want
this is
somebody
like-
to
I'm not agreeing. I'm totally agreeing with you, but I'm saying like this is the mentality of like the
The
system.
studio system.
Yeah. This,
Oh,
this
no,
is what
I
they do.
totally
They go,
agree.
we don't want to make people they're following these characters to be like questioning who am I following? You know, it's like just make a good movie where every character is great. Like
Mhm.
I
it's
get
not
that.
about-
But
Yeah.
he instantly sees her and he's like, I want her. Like instantly he sees her. He knows nothing about her. He just visually sees her
Yeah.
and he wants her. That's it. Hands down. That's all I'm doing. I'm going after her. I don't care if she's engaged. It doesn't matter. And the woman doesn't really have a choice because even when she does try to get married, he shows up.
Yeah.
I mean, not that she should have been marrying Bradley Cooper. She
No.
shouldn't marry either one of them, in my opinion, but she doesn't really get a choice in this movie.
Oh,
That's all
plot's
that's
terrible.
all I'm saying is
Yeah,
that like
the plot of this film is actually not very realistic. It's
mhm.
the humor that makes it so great, and the acting,
Yeah.
and,
Oh,
and
yeah.
everybody involved that made this film so great. But if you actually just took like all the humor out of it and the talent, and you just read like just the
You just
basics
read the script.
of it, it would be like this could be really like very by the book. You know, it could be very like
Yeah.
this is just way that films were made. There's nothing like eye-opening or like it's just a fun comedic film. But you're absolutely right. That's one of the things that I did not like about this film. I think when I saw it, it was just like I loved Rachel McAdams in that moment because I think she was such a powerful actress at the time that she even with that small role gave something that you connected to. You're like, I like her, and it's
Yeah.
not like it's not a sexual thing. It's not like an objective like she's an object. It's just something that you went, she's cool. Like I get why he wants to be with her. But no point was I was like, she's lucky to be with him.
Yeah.
Fuck no.
So if you
Like,
substituted her
at
out for a
all.
different actress, would not have
Yeah.
had the same result.
She was
I
so
give you that.
good in her role. Like she took the role and she made it better than any. It could have been so. Like I mean, I grew up in the 80s and 90s. There was like films where they would do the same thing and it'd be like,
Yeah.
You get like a female actress, she'd just be like, oh, I'm just a girl and I just talk
Mhm.
Yeah.
because that's the role they gave me.
But when you
Rachel-
do it, when you reverse it and you have it be a female film,
Yeah.
like Bridesmaids that we just did last week, the men still get filled out. The cop in Bridesmaid, you still feel what type of guy he is. You see, like, oh, he's just like the sweet dude who he likes baked goods.
Everyone in
wants a
every
big
movie.
girl.
Mhm.
Every
Yeah,
film.
So when they do
Character should have
movies,
weight.
they give weight to men, and women don't get weight unless it's a movie about women. I'm just gonna throw that out there.
I agree with you.
Move on from this, but I just want to just.
I absolutely
throw
agree
that
with
out
you. I agree with you. I mean, so my the film that I directed that was supposed to.
We're going to talk about that. Yeah, we need to talk about that.
No, but do we talk about it now? Or?
We can talk about it now.
Go ahead,
yeah,
go ahead.
before. Yeah,
No,
we don't have to
I was
wait till
just
the
saying-
end.
I was just saying she's you know, she's my friend, and I picked her. Like I wrote the script for her, and she did this film. And one of the things that she came to me when we were filming is she told me, she goes, "Thank you for giving me this lead role, because no one else would give me this lead role." And I said, "Why?" And she's like, "Oh, because I'm overweight, and no girl would ever, like, no one would get a lead role in my weight category." And I went, "That's exactly why I
I
cast you."
picked you, yeah, and that's good.
Because
Show
I
people
don't
who look
buy
like
this bullshit.
people.
You know why though? It's because there's too many left brain people running this show that know nothing about. They know numbers. You know, they know like
they
who's
know
the
what's
top one.
reliable.
Yeah, and they don't know what's like. You know, that's why independent
The
film
studios
is really
are run by accountants, not by creators.
independent's really important.
Hold on, I'll be right back. Hold on.
Uh-oh.
Independent film is really important, man. Like you making your features, like that's really important.
Yeah.
People taking their.
It's the only way to get real stories out nowadays.
Yeah.
I can predict nearly every movie that comes out within the first 10 minutes of watching the movie.
Yeah.
And I don't want to. I don't want to be right. I want to be surprised. And it's very rare that I'm surprised by an outcome or a plot twist.
Yeah. Yeah, because or it's, you know, you go in, or the trailer or something, like the way that, you know, dude, I've learned this so many times. Like if you get other people involved, and it's very, like if you know the people that are backing you and like see your vision, even though if your vision's not going to be perfect, it's not going to be exactly what you think it is. It's going to be probably most of the time better if you really are open-minded. But you get people that'll just say, "Oh, that's not going to sell."
Yeah, I don't need to hear that.
Yeah.
That's why I don't want to bring on producers and money men to my project, because they think that because they have a vested interest that they have a creative mind, and it's not the same.
Yeah.
You know,
you have to make the movie the way that you want to make it, and then when it's done, then you see if people want to buy it. You know, but like if you do like a studio system, you know, we were talking about earlier, it's like it's very easy to get caught up in like if you have enough money, like Wedding Crashers had enough money, you can have a really good actress in a role that's very, trust me, I guarantee you, Rachel McAdams was not like stoked about doing that role. She was stoked about doing the Notebook role because that was actually a real role. Like, and with Wedding Crashers, it was like, I kind of have to be a little bit of the backdrop, but she brought her own thing to it. But I'm sure she wasn't like, this is really challenging for me.
No.
Like I can't wait to do this role. She was waiting to do the role because it was going to put her name in the forefront, show her abilities. And she took that.
Yeah.
She did a great job for that. I've seen so many films where that role could have just been like
bland.
And she took it and she killed it, because I remember her after that, this film.
Not only that,
I
but
would have
now
signed on.
What's that?
I would have signed on as soon as I saw Christopher Walken on the list. I'd been like, okay, well then, yeah, we're really doing something here. Let me get in. He's gonna play my dad. Okay, hey girl. There is a scene when they're at the engagement party where her and Christopher Walken are dancing together, and she's like giggling and smiling. They had to do that take quite a few times. So Christopher Walken would make fart noises to keep her entertained and laughing, so that it'd be more of a genuine laugh when she's doing that scene. So, I mean, that's why I would do it, just so I could have a moment.
Just so that Walken
like
could put
that.
fart noises in your ear?
Yeah, I love farts. I love him. I'm done.
All right.
Buddy.
Can I show Zenobi? Can I show you something real quick? Because this, I'm not kidding.
What is this?
This is a fart machine. As a director, I use this because I have many times, because I don't just shoot like music videos. You'd be surprised like how many people that you think are like super, like they might be into themselves, but they're so, when they get on camera, they freeze.
Yep.
They freeze. They don't know what to do.
It takes a while for you to get used to being in front of a camera. I'll get you that. I'll give you that.
so they get very like vulnerable, and at times, like as a director, I'm behind the camera and I'm telling them what to do, and sometimes I'm intimidating. So I bust this fart machine, and right before they're just about to say it, I'm like, all right, ready. Before I say action, I go action, and I go action, and their face lights up, man. Their face lights up.
Who doesn't like a fart? Smashley loves farts.
They get so excited.
He
and happy,
loves farts.
and they do the scene. You know where I got it from? When I first moved to LA, when I was trying to be an actor, I got this photographer to do my headshots. And he took me, and I was fucking nervous. I was not from LA. And he was taking these shots, and all of a sudden he takes the camera and he just goes down. He goes, "Hey, what's your favorite cuss word?" And I'm like, "My favorite cuss word?" He's like, "Yeah, you should say it out loud. What's your favorite Just say it out loud." And I say, "Fuck." And he starts taking shots. And he goes, people light up when they say like something they're not supposed to say. They say fuck. I was like, I had this joy, and he caught it. He's like, caught that moment. And I always knew from then on, I was like, anybody that's nervous, I'm gonna do a fart noise. I got this fart machine just for clients, for people that are nervous. I fart and they go,
I love it.
You're not cool. I'm not cool. We're human. We both shit. We fart. It's all good. Let's have fun. Fuck it.
I'm down. I think that's a brilliant idea. I think that I love it. I love it.
All right, we're approaching 4 hours, so I'm gonna say
this is a squeeze fart. That's a squeeze. You want to hear a quick fart? Here's a quick fart. You want a quick fart? Real quick? Just real quick. Just.
Okay. Okay. Are we gonna move on to Owen Wilson so we can get this done?
yes. Let's move on to Owen Wilson, our lead in this, technically, the man of the hour. We're almost there, you guys. I'm gonna have to trim this down. I don't know where, but
I'm sorry, man.
Nobody's gonna listen to us for 4 hours.
Is it my fault? I'm bad.
No,
I'm sorry. I'm having actually a lot of fun.
No, don't get me wrong. It's great. It's the social distancing is the problem we've learned in this last month. All of our episodes have been extra long because of social distancing.
Okay.
Because we're all excited to talk to another human being. So.
Yeah, exactly.
Owen Wilson, the crooked ass nose motherfucker who is the lead of this movie. Tell me something about this guy.
He's got some great projects coming out now. We talked about him before, didn't we?
No.
In like Boogie Nights or something?
No.
Okay.
Owen Wilson was in Boogie Nights?
He was not in Boogie Nights, but he is good friends with, is it Wes Anderson or Paul Thomas Anderson? I always forget.
Paul Thomas Anderson.
It's Paul Thomas Anderson. That's why we talked about him in Boogie Nights.
Okay.
It's because he was friends, him and his brother were friends with Paul Thomas Anderson, and they were in his very first movie, his like thesis film or something like that.
Him and his brother be making movies that we've all loved and talk about. I feel like when we do Meet the Parents, we'll definitely talk about Owen Wilson again.
Oh yeah,
I do love him in those movies. That's probably my first memory of him is Meet the Parents.
Mine is Cable Guy.
And Cable Guy.
First time I ever saw Owen Wilson was in Cable Guy.
Bottle Rocket.
Bottle Rocket.
Okay, let's go with Owen Wilson improv the line. You know how they say we only use 10% of our brain?
Mm-hmm.
I think that we only use 10% of our heart. That's an Owen Wilson original. So you can take that one. I don't know how he broke his nose, but he should never change it because we won't know who the motherfucker is.
Yeah. Oh, so I was wrong. It is Wes Anderson.
Wes Anderson, yeah.
So Wes Anderson grew up with the Wilson brothers, and that's where they did their first short. So it was Bottle Rocket.
I mean, it makes sense.
So that is Wes Anderson's project, which he created with the Owen Wilson brothers.
Which was there's a really great scene in Bottle Rocket where Owen Wilson is wearing like a ridiculously banana yellow covered jumpsuit, and his brother, who's actually in a lot of his films, he's like kind of like a bully. He rolls up in a car and he tries to talk shit about his outfit, and he drives off. And Luke Wilson is like his like protective brother, and he's just like, fuck that guy. look what he's wearing. And Owen Wilson's on this bike, and he just goes, "Ring, ring." Yeah, it's pretty cool.
I mean, like, I love Wes Anderson. That makes sense. Why they're in like Royal Tenenbaums. It's all that stuff with him all the time.
That was the first movie, the first Wes Anderson film he did. Was
Royal
Bottle Rocket.
Tenenbaum. Oh, Bottle Rocket. Yeah.
Yeah.
I can understand
Rushmore.
them being in there. They're great movies. He's a great guy. You ready for a fun fact that I got on him?
Sure.
So, in this movie, in the beginning scenes where they're at the Italian wedding, and Owen Wilson is sitting at the table telling a captivating story to everybody with a joke, there is a gentleman who is sitting to his left, who, if you look at him, you will say, like, you know who he looks like? An old Owen Wilson. And that's
This
because
is Pops?
that's his uncle sitting next to him,
Oh.
chilling, laughing in the scene. So his uncle got to be an extra in Wedding Crasher, and he has a nice, like, if you look at him, you'd be like, God, he does look like he does look like he could be his dad or his
Okay.
uncle.
How
It's
many
a cool
Wilsons
shot.
are there, man? There's a lot of Wilsons.
Well, I only know those two, and then I guess the uncle now.
I know a couple
Oh,
Wilsons.
Really? There's
Mr.
Owen,
Wilson?
Mr.
Owen.
Wilson.
There's Owen, there's Luke Wilson, and the older brother. You ever see Zoolander?
I think that, yeah, there's 3 of them.
He's in like all those films. He's like,
Yeah.
you ever see? Okay, Royal Tenenbaums. You ever see Royal Tenenbaums?
Mm-mm.
What?
I'm sorry. Where she gets
Yes, I
her,
have.
where she gets her pinky cut off. It's like,
Oof.
put your hand up there, and he's like the guy with the beard, and he hits. That's the older Wilson. There's 3 brothers.
Mm-hmm.
Now you're telling me there's an uncle. Like, how many Wilsons are like in films? These
Now,
movies?
I don't know if the
They're
uncle
trying to
is
be
an
like the
actor.
Baldwin brothers.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if the uncle is an actor or they just needed
I think
someone
he
extra.
was hanging out, and they needed.
He was hanging out. He was like, put a tux
Mm-hmm.
on and come sit over here. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's his
I
uncle.
always enjoy seeing him. I like him in this. I like him in Armageddon. Plays Oscar. He's like the only one that's like super psyched to go to outer space.
Yeah.
He was actually the best. Personally, I think he was the best part of that the haunted house movie.
Which one's
House
that?
on the Hill? House on Haunted Hill? Was that what it
Was
was?
that what it was?
I think that was what it was.
I didn't see that one.
He with Zeta Jones was in it.
Catherine
And
Zeta-Jones.
what's his name? Taken guy. Oh,
Liam Neeson.
yeah, Liam Neeson was in
Taking
it.
guy.
I'm gonna kill you if you take my dog.
I don't remember I don't know.
They did that it was like the house on hunt. I fucking forgot. It was in the 90s. It was like a scary movie. You don't know, we both love horror films.
I do.
I
That's
went
what I'm
and
trying
saw in the
to
theater, and he was like the comedic he was the comedy guy in the movie, even though it wasn't that funny. But he was the best
The
part of the movie.
Haunting.
The Haunting of Hill House, was it? No.
It's just called The Haunting.
Oh, just The Haunting,
1999.
He was like the comedic
Was.
of the film, and he wasn't even that funny, but just because he was like, I'm Owen Wilson, I just don't give a shit. It was
Yeah.
kind of fun in the
He
90s.
was like the hot douchebag. Yeah, he was funny.
Yeah.
He does a great job. He does good things in movies. I love him. And we'll talk about him again, I guess.
Yeah. Well, he's doing some more stuff right now. One of
Love
them being
him.
Shanghai Dawn. So him and Jackie Chan are pairing up one last time to do
Shut
to
up.
final up the trilogy. You got to
Are
see
you serious?
Shanghai Noon and Shanghai Nights. It's hilarious.
They're doing
I
a
didn't know-
third?
They're doing
I
Shanghai
didn't know
Dawn.
there was a night. I just thought there was a noon.
No, there's a
there's
night.
a night.
I didn't know that till today. I don't know.
Uh-huh. And
When
also,
they're super old, it's going to be Shanghai midday nap.
mhm,
Absolutely
Shanghai
delightful.
Brunch.
I'll watch that one. It's my favorite.
And he
Um,
is also entering into the MCU. He is going to be in the new series Loki. Don't know what he's playing in that,
Oh.
but that's the trailer that I watched earlier, where he says, "Wow."
Wow.
He's
So
going to be
he's
in
gonna be part
Loki.
of Thor. So he's part of Thor's universe.
Yes. Well, he's part of Loki's, so yeah.
That's Thor.
Yeah. I don't know if Chris Hemsworth will make an appearance or not. I doubt it.
He better.
I
That's
don't
Fat
think so.
Thor.
I think this is a series. I think it's going to be all the other people.
Oh, it's a TV show.
And
Yeah, it's a
Bradley,
TV show.
Bradley Cooper better show up because
You can still do that. He doesn't have to like if Chris Hemsworth showed up, it means he has to continue working out and being massive Thor. and that takes a lot of work. So I don't think he
That's
would
true.
do that for a little cameo on a
He could
show.
be Fat Thor. That's the thing, that you don't have to do anything.
This is true.
You
Okay,
wear
if he shows
sweats.
up, it'll be Fat Thor.
I love Fat Thor. I'm ready for a whole Fat Thor movie. Like, please bring me that. I think it's hilarious. I don't have any more Owen Wilson fun facts.
Well, what's your favorite line of Owen Wilson's?
Wow.
Am I allowed to go to the bathroom and then come back real quick?
Yes.
Yeah, go ahead.
Matter of fact, we're gonna cut this because I gotta go too. Really bad.
Oh my God, really?
Throw my hands back in. Come on now. Don't forget to say you will.
What the hell are you doing?
Don't forget to say yeah.
Say
you will.
Say it right now, baby.
Come on now. Say you will. Say that you love me. Say that you you want to please me. Come on now.
Nobia,
I still remember.
when you do that, your titties are covering up half the screen.
Well, I was just gonna say to you guys that we were talking about like the saddest songs ever was "Mad World" from
Oh,
Donnie
that's good.
Darko.
That's a good one.
That makes me cry, man. That's
Okay,
a-
so are we out? Close
We
to
out.
it? Before we're out, I have one last thing that I forgot to mention that I really want to, because I'm actually very proud of her for doing this. Isla Fisher, they wanted her to do 5 nude scenes in this movie.
Yep.
And she talked their asses down to 1. Being an unknown actress and telling them, no, I'm not going to do that, takes a whole lot of self-respect and guts, being that this may be your big opportunity to break in as a famous actress. And she
And-
did so. And she said, nope, I'm only doing 1. And she had a butt double.
And she had a butt double, so that's not even her
That's-
bootay.
That's not her butt in the movie.
Wait, what happened?
Isla Fisher.
They try to get her to do like a bunch of nude scenes?
They wanted her to do 5 nude scenes in this movie.
Why?
To sell
'Cause
sex. Because
they're-
she's
'cause it's men.
gorgeous.
Because you men are horny ass bastards, and you'll
Why you
pay
gotta
for
say
this
it like that?
But this is like this came out when 2000 what?
5.
5.
This ain't fucking the 80s.
Mm-hmm.
I
Now,
don't
you got to
even
keep in
see-
mind, these are also,
Listen,
these are the producers.
I like boobs. Okay, I'm a man. I like boobs. I'm not saying that. But like a lead actress, like you have to show your boobs to be in the film. That's kind of dumb.
Mm-hmm.
I
So-
don't mind.
What I
Getting
forgot
nude
to mention is
there's a
that
reason.
these producers
Yeah.
are the same
Tasteful.
producers that produce Van Wilder and a number
makes
of
sense.
these raunchy comedies.
Titty
So
movie.
it was all just like from the male perspective, basically.
Yeah.
We have to show
Essentially.
boobs. It's like it's the Corky's mentality.
Yep.
Exactly.
Yep.
Yeah.
Which
So-
is like
Yeah.
was cool when I was like a kid, wanting to know about sexuality, but like nowadays it seems kind of stupid. Like it seems kind of like
I
you're
feel-
wasting a lot of potential of like a really good film.
I
Uh-huh.
feel like if you're gonna have, titty shots and female ass shots, then you better throw in some dick shots,
Some
like
dick
in
shots,
forgetting,
yeah.
like forgetting Sarah Marshall. They're funny.
Love
You
it.
don't
Yeah.
expect them, and they sexualize men, which is something we don't get to see a lot of. They're usually the fat guys who get the hot chick. And I wouldn't mind seeing more flaccid dicks on screen. I
It's
guess.
great, actually. So the film that I made,
Mhm.
I made it after I watched this South by Southwest keynote from this director called Mark Duplass, who does like all of these like
I met Mark
Really?
Duplass.
yeah, he's like a lot of independent films. Like
Mhm.
he's very, and one of the things that he did recently is that he made a pact. He's like, every time I show females' breasts or vagina, I have to show equally a man's dick.
There you go.
So if you see any of his stuff, you will see in the same episode a female naked and a man's like a dick. He's like, it's only fair.
And it doesn't have
Only
to.
fair.
Is it necessarily in the same scene?
Not necessarily, but he evens out to the whole whatever season he's making. He's like, if I show
I like
if
that.
I show 2 girls showing their breasts in 2 episodes,
Mm-hmm.
I have to show 2 dudes showing their dick in 2 episodes.
Thank you.
And I think it's kind of cool.
I
'Cause
like
it's
it.
like, it's like, man, I'm a dude. I see my dick every day. I'm okay with seeing another dude's dick. It's fine.
Yeah.
We're human. Like we used to not wear clothes. It's not a big deal.
In my
Well, it's
opinion, I think that when you throw nudity in there for the sake of throwing nudity because you think it's going to sell tickets, it takes away from the story, which also
Totally.
takes away from the tickets.
No,
I agree.
but you also can have those those sexual scenes.
Yeah.
And you can make it mutual. You could show, you know, I mean, not saying like porn, but like it doesn't have to be just showing like the female all the time. I feel like most films when I grew up in the 80s, it was like had to show the female.
It always
like,
showed the female body. Yeah.
It's like you could
They do that
so many
this way.
things. You do so many things to show a sexual scene and not have to be like catering to like one side of the alley. You can, you know, it's sex, man.
Robin, we
did
need to
that
hang
in
out more,
this
man.
movie.
Sex is not like in the movies, man. It's
No.
fucking hilarious. It's ridiculous.
I'm just
dumb
saying,
shit.
like you're right, because in this movie there was tons of titties for no reason. There was no reason, no rhyme, no reason to it. The bitches could have had bras on, and you could have threw them on the bed. You didn't have to have.
But I will say this.
on the
I will
bed.
say this as a director. I will say this. I do. You're right. I don't think you need to show the breast, but I really don't care. I think guys and girls, like I'm kind of like free the nipple kind of. But anyways, I think the shot where they're at the wedding and they grab the girl and they throw her and then she lands on the bed for the storyline. That transition, like that shot was actually fucking brilliant.
That's
It
great.
was.
Brilliant. She didn't need to have a bra or have it on or not or whatever. I'm just saying that shot of like grabbing somebody at the wedding and
Capturing the movement as the camera
because-
is panning to the right and then
Well, 'cause I
panning
like
into that next room is really, really great.
But I also think that it also in the film, I think that it also, whether the guy intended this or not, but it really kind of shows in the film that what they were doing was they were kind of objectifying women. Where it's just like, you're beneath me, fucking throw you down. Here, you're here. You know what I mean? And in that scene where almost it's like, I don't want to do this anymore. I think that was when you connected with him, where you're like, the realization that he's like, this
Yeah, that's
isn't-
what makes you root for him. Is like, okay, maybe he does have
This
a
isn't what
heart.
I
He has a
want.
conscience.
Yeah, this isn't what I want. I don't want this. You know, he was looking
Which
for
is
something.
why you're okay with him stealing Rachel
But then
McAdams from Bradley Cooper.
But then they fucked up because the girl that he wanted, they made her fucking two-dimensional.
I think that throwing the girls on the bed is labeling them as a conquest. It's like, okay, they accomplished this goal, they accomplished this goal, and another, and they're just stacking them on top of each other. And
No,
it's
but
very
at the same
superficial.
Time, but in that scene, you know, she wasn't stupid. She was just like, do you bullshit half the time or most of the time? And he's like, I don't know anymore. She's like, fuck you. And she left the room. It made her look like she was the catalyst of like him realizing like, what the fuck am I doing?
Yeah, it's time for a change.
So that's the only time that you kind of went, oh, I'll follow him. Because if they didn't have that scene, you'd be like, fuck this guy. You know? And if Vince Vaughn didn't have that scene.
No, Vince Vaughn is okay with carrying on business as usual.
He's the comedic.
And then he has a whole character arc that he goes through.
But you only see it at the end of the film where because she's so crazier than he is, and and so beyond what
It took a challenge like Isla Fisher to get Vince Vaughn's character to grow the fuck up and want to become a married man.
She was crazier than him and made him love her.
Yeah.
So that would be the sequel. Is like you're right. Like she becomes so crazy, or something has to do with that dynamic. And then with like Owen Wilson and Rachel McAdams' character, I feel like I don't know. I feel like that's gonna be so boring. It could be so boring.
Yeah, could be.
Like you might have to scrap it and have to be like someone else. Like I like your whole like.
They could talk about him as like, off in the
Crashers.
distance
It'd
in
be
their
funnier.
happy life or whatever.
I think that I have a talent for writing scripts for part twos. Maybe that should be my like new focus, because I feel like I can always come
You
up with
should
a
do
good
it.
Pitching shit.
Yeah, I'm good at pitching shit on that.
I don't know why you don't do it. Just write it and send it in.
Well,
Like
I never thought that I was good at it until this show. This show helped me feel like, oh, you're right. You do know what you're talking about, and you do know what you're doing. Sometimes you just need that pat on the shoulder to get you motivated to do something like
I'm gonna
that.
shove you. I'm gonna shove you. Do it. I want to see this. Write the script.
I'm gonna write the script. Okay,
Dude.
I got one more fun fact, and then I'm done. And your girl's about to get out of here because I gotta go to bed. I gotta work tomorrow.
We got to
Okay.
cover a couple of things first, but okay.
Okay. Last fun fact: Will Ferrell was initially asked to play the role of John, so that's Owen Wilson's
Mhm.
role, but he turned it down because he wanted to do a smaller part, which I think was a great idea because the part that he did do was perfect for him.
For him.
Oh, totally.
We got to hang
I've
out.
been
As
paying
soon as this
attention. You
Corona
think I'm
thing
not
is
paying
over, we
attention?
got to hang out.
Before this Corona thing, I was already paying attention.
Yeah.
I love film, and I love filmmakers, and I love people that I love the art form. I love like what we're doing tonight. This has been some of the best night of my life.
I love
Honestly,
your coronavirus life. Yeah.
my coronavirus, but I mean, having a great time. You making a film,
Uh-huh.
you like the shit that you've done to it, and like you've added all these things, like your the storyboards, like all the work that you've done. Trust me, I look at that and I go, this motherfucker gets it.
Yeah, he knows what you're doing.
You know what you're doing. You're hardcore. You're going for it, dude. I want to help you, man.
Yeah. I want you to. That's why I'm saying
Whatever I can do to help
I want to
you.
pick your brain. I want to share a beer with you. I want to just talk about filmmaking with you.
Whatever
what
I
I
can
mean?
do, whatever I can to help you to make your film and the film that you want, I'm happy. But here's the thing: even if you made that film and it was like this amazing film that nobody saw, guess what? You still did it.
Yeah.
You still made an amazing film that who cares if nobody saw it? It's still an amazing film. They just never saw it.
Yeah. So that's like when you were saying like, even if I make my money back, I was thinking to myself, holy shit, that's exactly my goal. I don't care if this movie makes money. I just care that it gets out. And if it breaks even, that's a win, because then is when people will say, okay, Jason can fucking act. Jason can fucking make a movie. He can write. Let's see. And he did this for how much money? Okay, let's see if he can make something for this much money. What he can do with it. What kind of profit? Let's give him an actual
Jason,
crew.
You might,
know?
you might actually find out after this that when you make this movie, you're gonna actually, like I did, that you love. Fuck the acting.
I don't know if I'll
I
ever
don't
say
know.
no to it,
Yeah,
but
you're gonna-
I know
no,
that
no,
I
no.
am a director till the
I'm not
day I
saying-
die
know,
also.
Jason.
I'm not saying fuck the acting, but I'm saying you might find that you enjoy the other side of it. You might be surprised because that's what happened to me.
Mm-hmm.
Like I love acting. I love fucking acting. I love playing characters. I wish we all could like. I'm just thinking right now as a director. I'm like, we all just fucking make an amazing film. Like I could thinking about the characters we could play.
Yep.
It's crazy, but I love acting. But at the same time, I love making the story. So you might find out that the story you made, you enjoy more than just the acting. Not saying you're not going to
Mhm.
act, but you might find a little joy into being okay with letting that go and giving someone else that role. Like, here's my question. If you make this film,
Uh-huh.
and I downloaded it because I actually found out you did send it to me, and I'm going to read it.
Let me send you a revised copy because that's probably an old copy.
Yeah, send it to me. But if you got to the point where, say, there was some funding behind it and someone said, we want this film made, and we want you to direct it. You wrote it, we want you to direct it. But the lead role we want to give to fucking Jake Gyllenhaal or whatever. Would you do it?
I would say no because he can't do it.
Okay.
I would say that he's more of a Sylvester Stallone type of dude where it's like, this is my script. I wrote this for me. He's the only person he sees for this role.
If
So
I know
even if
somebody
they-
can do it
that's-
better than me,
But see that's the question, because I'm right now. I made that film
Mhm.
with my own money, and I just shot it and said, "Fucking nobody's gonna tell me anything." The
Yeah.
second script that I'm writing right now is very personal to me.
Mhm.
It's very
You
personal,
can't sell it.
but
Yeah.
I
He's
would.
going to be like a Rocky. That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. They're
But I
gonna
would.
if they
You'd
ask
sell
for
it?
it, he would say no unless I do it. And
But
they
I
would still
would. But I
count you.
would sell it. I would sell it on certain stipulations.
Sure.
Like there's certain ways that you can get in where it's like this is gonna guarantee. Like Quentin Tarantino did that.
Yeah,
with
he
True Romance.
sold True Romance.
And so you can make deals to get
And
to
that's
that
for Forrest
level.
Giller.
But what I'm saying is, this is your first film.
Mm-hmm.
Are you okay with letting that baby go?
There
Because-
was a
because
time when I was okay
the movie
with it.
would never have gotten made without you making it, Jason.
True. But would that quick payoff be enough to supplement me for my next project? is the question.
No,
Like,
no,
don't
I'm
get me
not-
wrong. I've written
I'm telling
this.
you,
I've done the
you're
work and everything.
You can actually make those stipulations. You can be the executive producer. You could
Mm-hmm.
do whatever you want to make sure that the next deal is like in your favor, but you might have to walk away with being not the lead role. Would you be okay with that?
In this project, I would be okay with it if it was enough for me to do my next project, because the next project is very personal.
Then you're smart.
You know.
You got it. Then you're
Okay.
good. That's all
But
I
it's
wanna know.
only if it supplements enough to where I can build a career off of it.
Yeah.
Because the plan is to build a career off of this movie. If somebody offers me the right amount of money, the right amount of stipulations, the right amount of creative control still, where I'm still directing it, but I'm not the lead, I'm okay with that because that funds the pilot for the series that I'm writing. And that also is incredibly personal, and I would never let anybody take that from me.
I'll take it.
So it all depends,
Interesting.
you know?
All right, boys, I love you guys, but
Okay,
if we don't
yeah.
wrap this motherfucking show up, I'm about to just leave.
I would like to
okay?
congratulate Robin on being
Hey.
our longest episode in podcast history.
Is it really?
It is.
It is.
Is that a
But we
bad
don't-
thing? Is that a good thing or a bad thing? I
Well,
That's not a bad
our
thing.
longest episode
Was I
before this
terrible?
was Adam's Family, and it was just me and Zenobia, and I had a hell of a time on that one.
Well, can I say
Good luck.
something personally? Zenobia, you're fucking the shit. I love you to death.
I love you.
Obviously, I fucking love Jason since the day I met him. But like, I've been watching your shit on like Instagram, and I was like, I want to be on the show, and I was like, I'm gonna ruin this show.
You're not going to ruin it. You're doing a
Okay.
great job.
You
And
didn't ruin it.
watch when I do the edits. It's going to be a great episode. Unfortunately, not everything gets to stay in because nobody's going to listen to us for 4 hours and 5 minutes.
That's why I was like, I'm ready to
I got to
go,
cut
y'all.
it down to like an hour and 45, 2 hours max. But it's
Yeah.
going to be just the great like interactions and all the great stuff that pertains to the movie and a little bit more about us and about you.
Yeah.
So it's going to
Yeah.
be great.
Zenobia, I'm so sorry that we kept you up all night.
No,
You'll be all right.
it's okay.
I'm
I'm
so
all right. I'm all
sorry.
right.
All right.
I'm
So we
sorry.
have one more task to deal with, to take care
One
of.
more thing, and let's get this shit done. Your
All
girl
right.
needs to go smoke some weed and go to sleep.
All right, it's
Yes.
on you. It's on
Okay.
you.
So, motherfuckers, it's time for Z.
For the people.
Ah. Okay. Yes, sir. Disney for the people is the same as it's been for the past couple of weeks. Hey, girls, we stuck inside right now. People are dying from this pandemic, and we don't know what to do. So donate your money to help find a cure. Donate your money to a food bank in your state or your city, because bitches are hungry and bitches are out of work. So we
Mhm.
need to get these people back on their feet, because it could be you, it could be me, it could be any of us that are in this situation, because nobody saw this at the beginning of the year being a big deal to the point where we're all unemployed and we're all stuck in the house. And I have to spend my motherfucking birthday in my house with my family, something I don't want to do. I'd rather go out and party and drinks everywhere else, but I couldn't because motherfuckers had to stay home. So stay home, wash your hands all the goddamn time,
Mhm.
wash your masks. That if you have any masks, go ahead and wash them.
Yeah, that's the thing. Wash your masks, people.
Anything that can get me out of this goddamn house and to Jason so we could do this live will help, because I can't stand it any longer. I'm an Aries, and I'm not a person that likes to stay in the house. Never
Wait,
in
you're
my
Aries?
I am an Aries.
What?
Yeah, my birthday was yesterday. I thought we talked about this.
All my moons are Aries.
Oh, there you go. So I
All
need
my
out of here.
moons.
Everybody needs out of here. Donate food, donate money, donate your time. Do whatever that you can do to help out somebody else, because we all need help right now. And that is my Z for the feed. Oh, yes. All right, let's finish the shit.
Do you want to do the scene?
I don't know. Smash
we
is
gotta-
still there.
Oh
Is
wait, we
Ashley even awake?
Oh my god, I forgot about the scene.
We'll do it one more time. We'll do one because we got a good one earlier. If
did get a good
anything, if we mess this one up, I'll just cut the one from earlier and paste it towards the end.
Okay. Smash
Hey-
it. Get your ass.
Hey,
close.
baby, wake up.
Wake your ass
Zenobia
up.
needs to go to sleep. So
I'm ready to go.
Come do the scene with us.
Smash it. It's not my fault either.
Good
Okay.
morning.
Wait, what?
She's been asleep on the couch.
No, I haven't.
You lie.
I've been researching.
Uh-huh.
I was listening.
She's fact checking us the whole time.
I believe it. Okay.
All right, let's do this scene.
All right, you ready?
I'm ready.
Had a burp. Hold on. Okay.
You got a burp?
I did.
You
But
gotta
I'm
get
good.
it out.
You ready?
I'm ready.
Wait, bring your dad back.
He went to bed. He go.
You can play the
I want him
preacher.
back in the scene.
You can play the preacher.
All right.
All right, here we
Okay.
go. In 3, 2. Oh, Shelby, this is Candace. Candace, Shelby.
It's nice to meet you. How are you doing?
I'm so sure.
Oh, should I just sit anywhere?
Yeah, that'd be great.
Thank you, Julian.
No, thank you.
What's up with this Pop-Tart?
Shelby, it's over. I am not the man for you, and you are clearly not the woman for me, so let's just stop fooling ourselves. I hope you find what you're looking for, because that's exactly what I intend to do. I have to go. Bye, Shelby.
Don't you think you ought to pick that up?
What?
Your bottom jaw?
Hi, Shelby. Oh,
Yeah,
go to
yeah,
hell.
fucking served.
I love Shelby, so that's fine.
Dude, she's hilarious. Shelby, who?
Shelby's crazy.
All right, you guys, that is our scene for next week.
Yes.
If you love movies like we do, you know exactly what movie that is. We thank you for sticking with us in this very
Thank
long, very
you.
entertaining episode. Robin, we appreciate you so much.
Thank you.
He's going to come
That's
back
so much fun.
when his movie comes out and is available to the world, and we're going to reintroduce it so y'all can come out and see it and download it and all that good stuff. So expect him whenever this pandemic ends.
Yeah, he'll be back on our